Well, hello. Let me make myself bigger for the ladies. So I hope you're doing well. I can turn off this virtual camera now. I'll save some resources. It's been a hot minute. Good to see you guys. Haven't really been streaming over here very much. But I'm going to go ahead and put this out. It might be a little early. Oh, it's 10 a.m. Sage is done with his broadcast, so I'm going to actually review Sage's video. I hope he doesn't mind too terribly. I'm going to make sure I shout him out. Let's see. Finkel's got some good content going out. I have to check him out too as well. Man, I'm really liking Finkel's content lately. I really am enjoying it. It's like sitting at a diner with like an old friend, just chilling and talking and relaxing. Let me go Subpar Gaming. And I appreciate the shout out that Sage gave me today. I know he's in a meeting right now. So he might catch this a little bit later. I didn't even check my thumbnail, but I know the new set's coming out today, so I probably won't get very many people interested in Magic, so smoked fried bologna sandwiches. Oh my goodness, ever since I looked into that. Well, hello, we'll get another viewer. All right, guys, we're going to get to it. I'm just making a deck here, but I'm also going to be reviewing Sage Outcast's video from this morning, and it's right down here in the bottom, right below my picture here. And it looks like he's going to be talking about the Jimmy Kimmel situation. I guess Jimmy Kimmel got his job back or something.
The things that I just don't understand what that being only found here song YouTube channel Out You, I believe, basically is the name of the song.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure that I can pin his channel here. Using his content, so I think that's the least I can do. All right, and let me go ahead and put it here. I guess I'm gonna replace that for there. So we got Subpar Gaming. Okay, so I'm gonna probably put that in there every now and then. I don't want to replace my other pin message, but let's go back to it. There we go. 20 seconds.
Actually, his band. I have it someplace on my. It's called. Wait a minute. Am I getting unalived? As We Wait Without You, I believe. Basically, is the name of the song. And it's on my YouTube channel. If you find Sage Outcast End Song, that's the whole song basically. He allows me to use it. It's really not anyplace else on YouTube, so only found here, exclusive. Just so you know.
Yeah, and I actually really enjoy his outro, man. It's a badass outro. So shout out to whoever the creator was for that.
That being said, I'm back. It is Tuesday. And I had a question. I ended the show a little bit yesterday, basically trying to kind of asking this question because I'm at a complete loss in regards to some of the things that I just don't understand what it takes. Right? Like presently, Jimmy Kimmel's on his way back, allegedly, but I guess they're struggling or they're fighting it or somebody's fighting it, so that can be an interesting battle. But my question to you guys is going to be for some of the show, obviously, plus the other stuff I ask. What does it take for somebody to be seen as a dictator? Like we know in the past, and everybody's going to say,
well, that's kind of interesting because I actually didn't catch the beginning of your show, Sage, and I don't know if you're going to watch this replay or not. I know, like I said, I know you're in a meeting currently. Yeah, I basically that's kind of what I ended the show with. I mean, those that consider Trump to be kind of, whatever the next power structure or power scheme that's coming into play, it does seem to be dictatorial. There does seem to be a seizing of power from the top, kind of, I mean, when you're praising like the Chinese leaders and the North Korean leaders, it sounds to me like you're trying to institute that kind of a model in America. And I think you're going to have a lot of Americans that aren't going to be too keen on that. But I think, unfortunately, most of the Americans that won't be very keen on that, frankly, are probably about to turn 55 to 70. And, good luck on the battlefield when you're, 55 to 70. It's, I mean, you might have a good brain, but the hips don't lie, man. My hip.
He's not out there unaliving people. I mean, is that kind of where it starts? I mean, can you do everything up until that, and then that's what makes you a dictator? I don't know, right? I don't know, and that's kind of what I'm asking. So, I everything that he seems to be doing in regards to speech, in regards to centralizing power and fighting every way, every single move he makes, from natural born citizens to the tariffs to, getting rid of the people on the Fed and, eliminating anybody in that kind of offsets the balance in regards to, power is just gone. He just gets rid of them. He fires them. He doesn't like the numbers. He fires that person, replaces with his own. He doesn't like this. He fires that person. It's like, everything is focused on having to leg hump Trump. If you're not leg humping Trump, you're out of here. And I'm
kind of funny.
Just trying to figure out, like, obviously I'm trying to figure out a lot of things because I get a lot of confusion in regards to some of the ways that MAGA thinks. I'm at a point now where what does it take for someone to say, yeah, that's a dictator? Like nowadays, obviously you're not just going to go out and do what they did completely during the different reigns of the 1930s.
What's up, Bendy?
And back before that, right? But what does it take?
Honestly, I think the only night I didn't sleep too great was probably the night of the trial because, the late night live streams of some of the people that were, talking about the case and stuff. But the few days before it, man, I slept amazing. I think it's because I was just mentally kind of like spent from getting ready for things and stuff. And apparently it ain't over though. Apparently, Chris is going to continue his onslaught upon myself. It seems that they're attacking Lick the Whole Boots channel by copyright striking him because they're trying pretty desperately to get his personal identifiable information in order to dox him. Absolutely disgusting. They talk about wanting to protect children and stuff like that. And here's a guy who's purposely tried to stay about as anonymous as possible, and they're trying to dox him to get his personal information. You got people like Kevin running around. No problem, ND. I appreciate you popping in and saying hi, hitting that like button, hopefully. And trying to dox this guy and, trying to shut his channel down. I don't know what it is about Lick that they really can't stand him. Lick's a pretty mellow dude. He's a pretty chill dude, and he's got a way of politely just destroying anyone that would present themselves as a liar or a foe or an enemy. And he does it in a way where you're, when it's like when Lick the Boot tells you to go to hell, it's almost like you're grateful and you're asking him for directions. But I'm gonna share this out. There might be some folks that might be interested in this. So there might be some people that are driving and might enjoy the company, or that are cleaning homes and might enjoy the. It's sickening. They hate the truth, plain and simple. I think that's what it is, ND. I think at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. And I'm gonna do whatever I can on my side to. I mean, maybe I just got to start hosting Lick for now, and maybe he doesn't really put anything but certain like static videos up on his. I don't know what the deal is, but they're trying to get his channel deleted. And they're trying to get him to fight the fraudulent, frivolous copyright strikes. But like I said, if he does it, he has to reveal his identity, and he really doesn't want to do that. It would seem. They better be careful though, because there could be a point at which he will. So I guess actually, if you hire a lawyer, then the lawyer can represent you and your channel, and whatever personal identifying information would be the lawyer's office, if I'm not mistaken. So, actually, you know what? I might actually encourage people to donate tonight. Maybe we'll set up a Give, Send, Go or something. I don't even know. I don't know how to do any of that in order to help Lick the Whole Boot hire a lawyer to fight the DMCA or whatever it is, or they're copycatting what DMA did to FT. No, they actually sued him. They didn't copyright strike him. They sued him. I think that's a little bit different, but I think you're kind of in the vein of it though, ND. To be fair. Oh gosh, I did it, didn't I? I did it. Oh, dang it. Man, it's been a while since I did it over here.
Well, to be fair.
Oh, don't say to be fair. Hate when people say to be fair.
Oh, to be fair.
To be fair. To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Well, to be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair. To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Yep. Yeah, you're correct. I mean, it's in the same vein though, I think. I don't think you're far off from what their plans are. These people are they're just evil at the end of the day. I'm going to let this play a little bit though. And yeah, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the case probably later. I'll be talking about a lot of things, but I'm actually kind of curious. I had a good conversation with Sage. Shocking. I know this will be the second in a row. Well, third total, but the second in a row. It is possible if you don't go in there and act like a jerk off to Sage. He doesn't often act like a jerk off back. So it's just about decorum, in my opinion. What's up, Stefan? DMA lawyer is pro bono. Oh, DMA lawyer is pro bono. Oh, so it's probably, you know what? It's probably someone in the genre or in the, in the scheme of it. But it's interesting how they only go after people that are against what they're putting out, not people that are for them, right? All right, ND, you enjoy your work, and I'm glad we'll keep you company here, and we'll be listening.
Now to do that.
Sorry.
Like, honestly.
Good morning, Just Cause.
And I don't know. Do people still see North Korea
All
as
of
a
his cases?
dictatorship?
Wow.
Do they see, Putin as a dictator? Do they see Xi as a dictator? I mean, they talk like they do, right? But I don't know anymore, and that's kind of one of the things that I'm legitimately wondering, like what does it legitimately take? So that's kind of what I wanted to ask today. Plus, I've got a couple other things I wanted to kind of show. Not that. We're going to close that one out. So we are in a freight recession. There's no doubt about it. And I'm basically showing Craig Fuller on here, who is, one of the leading people in regards to freight in the industry. He's when people want to talk to him, CNN or, different news channels, whoever that might be, Fox, NPR, whoever, they're going to grab Craig Fuller. He's pretty known in the freight industry.
It's pretty interesting how Rogue Nation, who just basically sits like Jabba the Hutt on his bed and lazily does some kind of weird audio voiceover, attaches an audio file to the beginning of a video, and then lets the entire video play the whole day or the whole time. Yeah, he doesn't seem to get copyright struck or sued. Listen, I think maybe all right, let's bring it in, chat. Let's have a conversation. I think maybe my one saving grace with the auditing community is people that I've actually done 1A tributes to, I actually think are pretty squared away auditors. And I actually, even James Freeman, I know people aren't really fans of James Freeman. I actually still think he's doing an overall a good thing. Liberty Troll, I know you guys don't, I know a lot of you guys don't really like Liberty Troll, and you might call him like a chomo or something like that. I don't think he is. I think seems to me to be a pretty damn stand-up guy. Again, I could be wrong. I was wrong with Chris Ryder. So I leave room for myself. Hey, what's up, MC Dilligaff? I leave room for myself to be wrong, Chad. I really do. But maybe my one saving grace for them not coming after me, even though I think I've taken down a lot of the videos, or at least put them behind a paywall or something, is that I think I've been as objective as possible with these 1A auditors. And frankly, what's up, Giggles? And frankly, I kind of, and I know this probably grinds some of you guys' gears, frankly, I kind of agree with some of the stuff they're doing. A lot of the stuff they're doing. And I think a lot of the stuff that they're doing shouldn't be upsetting the population, but it seems to. So hope you're all doing well this morning. Hope you don't mind me sharing out my gaming channel. I am going to be playing video games and also discussing like current events and stuff. So you're going to get a little bit of generally specific and a lot more of subpar gaming, so to speak. Just a place to hang out. We could talk about things that we find important. So let me do this. Let me get back to this. Right now we're reviewing Sage Outcast. Towards the end of this, like the last, 20 minutes or so, Sage and I have a really, really interesting conversation, and I think I'll probably be talking about some of this tonight. It's good to see you too, MC. Good to see you too. And just a big shout out to everyone that's kind of been in a supportive role and been looking out, And the demon's going to howl, and the demon's going to do what the demons do. And just a heads up to everyone, if you don't know, right now, Lick the Whole Boot seems to be under an onslaught of copyright claims. And it seems like perhaps FPS and Tav are kind of trying to get his private information so they can dox him. Pretty disgusting behavior, I think, is criminal. I play your subpar while I do what I do in the house. Awesome, MC. Let's see. Oops. Oh, yep. Okay. There we go. All right. All righty then. Let's go ahead and let this play.
He owns a company called Sonars and
Good
Freight
morning.
Waves and Freight News and things like that. And Sonar is a data collection. And he basically said this about 8 hours ago. Now, I've been saying this before, and me and Craig Fuller have gone back and forth in regards to this. And he said that the freight recession was over. I said, no, it's not. And he's come back to say, yep, he was wrong. Of course, he didn't say it was right, but he did say he was wrong. So Craig Fuller basically said, trucking has been in my family since the 1960s. We've lived through many cycles. Deregulation back in the 1980s.
What's up, Jonathan P?
An oil crisis,
morning.
the embargo. stagflation, the SNL collapse, Gulf War.
Wait, what was he? Wait, hold up. What was he crying about? Is he crying about something new now? Yeah, I just saw an interesting. I like the way MBK. Actually, I should send this to him too. He might be interested in checking this out. I didn't even think of that. Oops. Apparently, I didn't turn this off. Let's go ahead and send this to brothers. I do forget to send this to a few people, but again, I'm trying not to annoy people. That they can tune in if they want to. There we go. Let me make sure this is going. It seems to be. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way in, boys and girls. It really does help. All right.
September 11th, and the financial crisis, 2008. And I've spoken with a dozen trucking veterans with 40 years of experience, and almost all agree. And I will agree with this also. This is the worst freight market in their lifetime. The worst freight market in their lifetime. And we look down here, and you can see that another report that was done that keeps track of basically freight. The Cass Freight Index dropped negative 9.3 year over year in August, hitting its lowest since 2020. That's not good. The index of truck freight shipments within North America and serve as a key gauge of U.S. shipping activity. Now, if you know anything about logistics, you know anything about me. Logistics and freight determine a good market. The more people are spending money, the more investment there is into the country, the more freight we see. Anything from flatbed to van to reefer, all this type of stuff indicates if we're in a good economy. Because if there is really investment and there is really manufacturing and there really is this stuff going on, things happen. If there's investment in the manufacturing in this industry, in this country, you're going to see, obviously, the manufacturing of the, manufacturing companies, the building of the manufacturing companies, right? Whatever that might be. But you're also going to see housing and things like that being manufactured, because the more, businesses that are manufactured and the better business they do.
Well, I would kind of argue that I think the housing market has been artificially inflated. And, there's new housing construction going up all over the place, but it's kind of almost coming down as fast as it's going up because of low standards. And I had this conversation with Sage, I don't know, probably 2 months ago, where I said, if you can buy off an inspector, you can cut so many corners. If you can say you're a contract, if your construction company can save $50K by paying off an inspector an extra $10K underneath the table, you think that these guys won't do that for these people to look the other way? Corruption's all over the place, man. And of course people are going to cut corners, try to save money. It's pretty ridiculous. That's why that guy that runs around on YouTube, showing all the faults and all the new construction, and even showing like a good hard stiff wind is going to blow down most of these houses.
The more housing you see, like when you see a boom in the oil field, you see more housing in that area. You see more small businesses going up in that area to
How's everyone doing today? What are y'all doing today? What's going on? I know some people are like doing stuff around the house. Some people might be in the garden. We got some much needed rain here in Kentucky over the last day and a half. Yeah, we really needed that rain, by the way. Chickens are doing healthy. They're laying lots of eggs. Matter of fact, I should go collect them. It's been kind of rainy and muddy, so I'm going to definitely have to clean those and put them in the fridge. The eggs are small. They're like kind of huevos, or I don't know. Not that big, but the chickens are healthy. I do have one chicken that's got weird kind of like stuff on its feathers, and I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if there's a way to fix it or not. Spider-Man drops today on Arena, so I'll be making new brews. Oh, so it is Spider-Man, because that's what I'm waiting for. I don't know what time. What time? Do you know what time it's going to be, Aqua Guy? That's what I'm planning on doing. Once it drops, I'm probably going to end this stream and then spend most of the day just drafting and checking out the new expansion. I've already bought like the intro stuff. Jonathan P says laundry and cleaning the bathroom. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm excited actually. I don't know how it's going to change Arena. Technically, Omen Path's not Spider-Man. Okay. Oh, so is that like so Omen Paths is going to include Spider-Man, right? Is that I see I don't know much about the lore about it. I haven't even looked at the new cards. I haven't looked at any of the spoilers or anything like that. So I'm kind of going into it with a fresh set of eyes and I'll be drafting, I got like up here I got like 43,775 gems up there to play around with. Right now I'm trying to win some games though so I can buy these special there's like in the store there's daily deals. I like the special arts on some of these cards. I think they're really cool. Google says I'm cutting aluminum cans to make charms with. Oh, cool. Interesting. The Omen Paths are the MTG in-universe cards. Now, are they going to be standalone, or are they going to be included only in Arena? Are they going to be considered standard, or I guess I'll find out, right? I guess we'll find out. So I'm trying to make this deck right here. Here, let me put it up here so that way you guys can. Let's go top left. There we go. So you can actually see what I'm trying to build here. Trying to do like a, I don't know, kind of like a void. I'm gonna have like mutinous massacres to destroy stuff. The barbed servitor sticks around. I got Alicia who laughs at fate in order to get stuff back from the graveyard. I also have some interceptor mechans in order to get some of my artifacts and stuff and creatures back from the graveyard. Might not need 4 of those. I might be able to drop down to like 3 of those. I'm actually probably just going to get rid of that. I'm trying to pare it down to 60 cards right now and trying to figure it out. But I kind of like this idea of it. So the deadly complications will remove the suspect from barbed servitor, allowing it to block. Also, throwing a Buster Sword on it will make the damage be a little bit more pronounced. If it has suspect, it would require 2 blockers, and it still won't take any damage. But it won't die. The only thing that'll kill it is -1/-1s. So, but I can always try to get it back with Alicia, who laughs at fate. So I'm trying to figure out like, okay, what am I doing here? What is this deck actually gonna do? I don't know that I need these in here. Maybe not those. Maybe I'll put an extra one of these in here. I'm at 67. So that's kind of what I'm working with here, but we're going to listen to some Sage Outcast.
Basically cater to the businesses that are going up. We don't see that. That's not happening. It's not happening. So he says August marks the 28th consecutive month of decline. Freight shipments have now fallen to negative 20% over the past 3 years.
So, I mean, this is interesting stuff to listen to. I don't normally listen to people that are left-leaning a whole lot. But, I mean, it's important to kind of like widen your gaze, so that you don't get hit by blind spots. It's kind of important to get your information from a lot of different sources, in my opinion.
The last time such a prolonged fall occurred was the 2008 market. Now, you can kind of see here the 2008. Okay. Boom, 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 down to here. We're almost there. We are almost at a freight recession. I lost my truck in 2008. It was so bad. My tractor, I drove tractor trailer back then from Landstar, and I had to make a decision. Stay with the truck and continue to be a truck driver and see if I can do that, or to move on to the logistics side, and I chose the logistics side. But I had to give up. I had to pick one. And the truck, I gave up the truck and moved into logistics side. Now, I pulled out of it, $20, $30, $40 at a time, but I pulled out of it. But the problem is that we are literally seeing a freight recession. So everything that you're being told in regards to trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, and America's booming, and investments being made, and the country's coming back, and
I'm trying to knock out like one of the dailies, which is red and white. So I'm gonna do this. Excuse me. We're just gonna call this Alicia. And pardon me, guys. I'm really sorry about coughing in your ears. Very sorry. Kind of not cool. It's figure out what we're going to use for an avatar for this one. I'm kind of got rid of a lot of my old decks because I'm going to make new brews like Aqua was talking about. Empath cards are arena only for now, but at some point they could use the characters in the future. Kind of like Planeswalkers, interestingly. Okay, maybe. Trying to find the time the patch goes live, but I can't seem to find it. I think it's like probably around noon East Coast time, I think. Usually it's, well, I'm trying to think whenever, like, hold on, I gotta let my dog out real quick. It's kind of like whenever, like the midweek Magic, usually around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, something like that, I think. Maybe? I don't know. So hold on, I got a cough, man. I'm getting cough. There you go. I caught that one. I'm gonna let Sage talk here for a second, guys. And let me go ahead and I'm gonna share the link again. This is Sage Outcast. If you go over and sub to him, tell him GS sent you. And I mean, it's worth listening to. Hold on, honey. I'll let you out in just a second, baby. 1 second. But I'm gonna go ahead and let this play. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
No, it's all fantastic. It's all fantastic is a lie. It's a lie. You can see this with data, with facts. You can see this in truck rates. You can see this in the amount of loads that are on load boards. You can see this. Like this, it's undisputable. It's undisputable. And the amount of actual evidence that points, it's proof now. It's proof because we can actually see the numbers. And I don't know what it takes for people to actually kind of realize that. Because when you hear stuff like this...
Part of President Trump's mission to restore America as the manufacturing superpower of the world, he has secured nearly $9 trillion in U.S. investment, nearly 9 times more than Biden attracted in his entire 4-year term. And we expect that number to be upwards of $15 trillion very soon. We're part of President...
Who's investing that? Who is dumping this money and where's it going? First of all, $15 trillion is... I mean, you guys understand that the GDP of other countries don't even compete with that. Like us and China, United States and China are the largest GDP, and there's like, I don't even know how many other countries have a GDP of trillions of dollars, right? Trillions of dollars. I don't even know where that's happening. I have no idea. So, I mean, I don't even know what to say to people at this point. Like, you can't even show them. You can't even present this to them. And I'll turn the phones on here in a second. But at this point, I'm just trying to figure out, right now he's declaring, I'm Antifa, I guess, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm pretty anti-fascist. I'm not big on the fascist type, you know. I'm not even big on fashion, you know what I mean? Obviously. But I'm definitely not big on fascists. So I'm trying to figure out, what does it take? Like, what does it seriously take for someone to say, yeah, this could be bad. This could be bad. I mean, you know what I hear too? I hear everybody saying that, hey, in trucking at least, if you don't speak the language, you're out of here. You're gone. And we're getting rid of hundreds of thousands of truck drivers who don't speak English, and that's going to make trucking better. We're not. We're at about, I think I added this up. We're at about 3,000 truck drivers have been put out of service. Actually, 3,086, I think, truck drivers have been put out of service because they didn't speak English. Out of 3.1 million truck drivers, we've handled 3,000, and you think that's going to affect rates? You think that those 3,000 less truck drivers that are out there are going to drive rates to the moon, and truck drivers are going to be saved? And why do I bring this up? Well, I'm in trucking. That's one of the reasons I bring this up. But I see a lot of things that happened in regards to the farmers and truck drivers. The farmers is another one, right? Farmers are losing all sorts of money because of the trade war. China's not buying soybeans. They're buying less corn. Farmers are asking for bailouts. We had to bail them out in 2018 to the tune of $28 billion. They're now asking for bailouts, and I don't know if they're going to get it. I mean, truck drivers are at a point that they're going to need bailouts. I don't think they're going to get it. They didn't get it the last time. But I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we're going to bail out Argentina because Argentina's doing.
All right. So it says, Aqua says, also a reminder for everyone, this weekend will be the release schedule for 2026 is going to be announced. Like all the different expansions. Is that what you mean? Okay. Interesting. Giggle says, if they can't speak English, how the hell can they read road signs? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of not with Sage on this one. I think the roads are going to become a whole lot safer. I hope they're going to become a whole lot safer. I mean, hell, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Could be getting it all wrong.
Not doing so hot. They're not doing so good, but Trump likes him, right? Trump likes him because he's another Trump type guy, right? So we're hinting at bailing out Argentina because they're running into a financial collapse. Weird. Now, the fact that we're bailing out Argentina and stuff like that is a big problem because now you have a bunch of farmers that are pissed off because mostly of Argentina is selling, farm crops like soybeans and corn and things like that to China.
All right.
So we're not selling that stuff to China, but Argentina's selling it to China.
I agree. Giggles.
And it's hurting our farmers because countries like Brazil, who Trump supports, and Argentina, who now it looks like we're going to bail out Argentina with our financial dollars. That's our financial dollars to the tune of like 200-something billion. Let's take a look. I think I've got the story right here. I think it was, let's take a gander. I think we're looking to do about 200-something billion to them, bailing a good old Argentina out. Is that, I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing? You guys down with that? You down with bailing out Argentina? I'm not. I mean, they're selling their stuff to China, and we're deciding to, China traders book Argentina soy after exports ban tax. So they're selling their soybeans and their corn and stuff to China so that our farmers can't sell it to China because they're not buying ours because of the trade war. And Trump's deciding to bail them out.
Yeah.
Prepared to meet with Argentina President Milei, or whatever his name is, Miley, who cares, as the country's economy and currency slump. And they're in support of bailing them out. The Trump administration is looking at options to provide Argentina a financial lifeline. Now, remember, but what about Ukraine? We pay for Ukraine. I get it. But
what's up, Safara? You're saying Trump's talking to the UN right now? Yeah, I think some weird things are about to come our way, chat. Let's get patriotic with an American flag. I love the way that thing shimmers. All right, let's call this good. Let's get playing. I don't know how good this deck's going to be. I just kind of threw it together. So we do Alicia. Let's go ahead and favorite it. Let's take her for a test ride. Yeah, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a hot minute.
But I'm just wondering if you guys are okay with this. Not bailing out the American truck drivers, not bailing out the American farmers, but bailing out the Argentinian farmers. Just wanted to ask and see if what you guys kind of thought of that. So let me.
You guys are going to hear that I found out some pretty interesting stuff towards the end of the Sage's episode here. You're going to hear that I found out some interesting stuff recently that I'm going to be reviewing probably shortly, either on here or another channel. There seems to be some fascinating occurrences. Seems to be some ties between Kirk's widow and Donald Trump. You hear me often say I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences.
Let me do this. Let me turn that on. And let me turn on the phone system. All right, let me get the party started. Hello. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, what?
you are not Kevin Costner.
Very true. I'm not Kevin Costner. This is Sage from the Sage Outcast Show. I've kind of already started the show a little bit.
Streaming every
I
night
got
on
ahead of the
Twitch,
game.
over
I
on
started
Twitch, right?
without you guys. And so basically, here's what we do here. We talk politics. We talk current events. We debate. It's a call-in show. The phone number's on the screen, or there's a StreamYard link on the YouTube chat. I'm streaming to a couple different pages, but you'd have to come over to YouTube if you'd like to see. Click the link to come backstage on the StreamYard link. Also, I'm currently still playing Diablo 4. I'm waiting to possibly get Borderlands 4. I think I'm going to get Borderlands 4. That's maybe the one I'm going to be shooting for next. I usually don't buy it in the first month because I wait for all the glitches and issues and problems and a patch to come out and fix that problem. I play on Xbox, so there's not as many, but I usually don't pay that, right off the bat, right off the rip, because that's just, I'll let those people kind of figure some stuff out. That being said, you're welcome to call in and either answer, the questions or call in and debate me. Find your friends. If you would do me a favor and hit the like button, share this out, subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. We do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thursdays is going to be more of a logistic and trucking show, but you're welcome to join us. You're welcome to join for that. I'll probably end up debating truck drivers more on that one because, that they're going to tell me I'm a crazy freight broker, but that's a possibility. But yeah, that's kind of what we do here, and it's fairly that simple. So my question to you guys is, and I don't know.
So my question overall, and Sage, I'm not casting shade, genuine question, is Sage so invested with the fact and being so angry about the fact that all these non-English speaking truck drivers are being chucked out of the country? Is it because he hires so many of them? I mean, I'm genuinely curious. Is it because he hires people that don't speak? Is it because he's a freight broker? I mean, and usually they're going to be the ones that are going to take the cheapest deals, so that would maximize his profit overall. And I mean, I think it's a fair question to ask, and I think I asked it in the beginning when he was talking about it, and I said it sounds to me like maybe you're employing a lot of these ICE targets, perhaps. So, Sage, if you're listening to this, I know you're probably still in your meeting or not, but I don't know. Maybe I can get him to come up on the show and have a conversation. But again, it's kind of weird because it's easy to have a conversation with him as long as you're being reasonable. Like when I hear the show from the beginning, I'm just kind of like, okay, some of this stuff is a little out there. Put that on the bottom. I don't think I need that right away. Non-speaking English workers will work for less, therefore more profit for the owner. Yeah, that would be my argument.
I'm trying to figure this out is what does it take?
Seems logical.
Did I clear this board? I did. What does it actually take for someone to look at Trump and say, yeah, that's kind of a dictator move. Like, I don't know what it takes. Like, if I were to tell you that Joe Biden went to after people were running their mouths bad about, thank you so much for the description there, after so many people basically said, hey, Joe Biden or Harris or Obama, somebody, I don't care who, basically found out that the media was talking bad about him, and he went to the FCC and said, hey, I want you to, find them or get them kicked off the air or tell them to kick that guy off the air that was talking bad about me. And then the FCC or not approve their merger or not pass, fix the law so that they can do this merger until that guy's kicked off the air. Would you be okay with that? Would you guys be okay with that? See, a lot of the stuff that I look at, and maybe it's just me being crazy, I don't know, is I look at things and basically say, okay, would I be okay if the other side did that? So if Donald Trump did it, would I be okay?
I mean, it's showing a level of You know, right? I mean, right there, that's kind of showing a level of objectivity, right? Would I be okay if X did X, right? All right, fair enough. Okay.
If AOC did it, or Bernie Sanders did it, or Barack Obama did. Barack Obama's old, but let's say the next president, because some of the stuff that we're kind of looking at here, you guys do realize that everything Donald Trump is doing now is setting precedent that if there's ever a Democratic president, which there will be, I don't know if you guys don't think that the Republicans are just going to win forever. Things will happen, things will change. That's just how we are in America. Things go back and forth. We get tired of a specific way, and we say, "Hey, this guy might do it better. This guy might do it better." But if there's ever a president, would you be okay with it? Would you be okay with some of the things
At the beginning of your end step,
Trump
if a
is
player
doing?
controls, if a player
Democratic
controls,
president
I
or if a
read that
Democratic
wrong.
socialist ever got nominated, would you be okay with that? Because what you got to understand is that
I would say one already happened. I think his name was Obama. That would be my argument. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Kind of pretty sure that already happened. Menace whenever another creature or artifact control dies. Okay, let's get rid of that. He's going to have some way to protect it, maybe. I don't know.
what Donald Trump is doing when doing all these cases is also setting a legal precedence. And that legal precedence is... Oh, I got it. I
always get confused between precedence and precedent, or I know it's two legal terms, but one means like one thing and one means another thing. So they're not I don't know. I got to do some research on that.
Sage Outcast speaking. How may I direct your call if you're calling for Sage Outcast?
Howdy.
Howdy.
I was just wondering, sir, do you listen to Paul?
You listen to what? Uh-oh, he must have had to cut him off. Was he worried that he was saying something smart?
I don't got nothing against you, brother. You have a good day.
Thank you. I have no idea what that was about, so I just had to dump. I had to run the dump, just because that would have went either way. But he had nothing against me. But that being said, I apologize if you just came in here. I had to dump that call. Sonia.
His number, 856-600-4654. Sage Outcast. I have questions.
Thank you, Sonia, for
I agree,
your
MC.
fantastic reading of that line and telling everybody what the number is. I do appreciate this. This is basically...
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, we went to my wife and I took my wife out to a Mexican restaurant last night, kind of celebrating, the court. I mean, it's a real inexpensive restaurant. They give you great food. They give you great quantities of food. I mean, they don't try to cheat you. That's one thing I know about, like, the Mexican culture. When it comes to food and drink, it's very hospitable. A lot of hospitality. They don't try to cheat you. They don't try to shortchange you. At least not in my experience. So yeah, I really don't have any. I've got actually very fond memories of foreign exchange students from Mexico that I used to spend a lot of time with, helping them learn English, and they would help me learn Spanish. Yeah, I don't really have any negative opinions or feelings towards Hispanics at all. A lot of respect for them, matter of fact. Actually, one of the girls that we didn't have a lot of like diversity in the high school that I grew up in, or even the town in Connecticut. It was pretty lily white, and I think we had like, I don't know, a couple black guys, and like there was like a half Puerto Rican, half black chick that I did a duet with in chorus or something like that, and I mean, she had a massive crush on me. I still remember her name and everything, but really nice lady. Didn't have a problem with it, and like I said, we did duets. I mean, which makes it kind of like disrespectful when people make claims about me, and when it comes to other races and stuff like that. I was actually part of a crew, it was Puerto Rican Italian crew, that had basically this family came from New York City, to Connecticut, and they kind of like a crew. It was just like a hangout. It wasn't a gang or anything like that. It was just a crew. But it's funny in the 80s because like you got all those like those 80s movies where it's like the cliques, the jocks and the bloods and the all the different. It's just funny to me because I mean all these things are like kind of true in a way. Like you had the jocks and the preps, and then you had the nerds, and then you had the goths, or well, not really so much the goths, I guess, but then you had the druggies, the burnouts. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Breakfast Club in a way. Very interesting. So anyway, yeah, he's got me. Oh, there you go. Good game. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Just trying to get some wins. This deck seems to be ooh, maybe I need to put iron in here. The iron needs a little bit of mana acceleration.
Basically, this is Canadian podcaster
Still
phone
tuning up the
reader,
deck.
Appreciation Day. So I want to thank my Canadian podcaster phone reader person. But
maybe did it
look,
reset?
I'm just trying to figure out. I really am. I think we all should kind of have a night to try to have that, right? I mean, are we? Look, I do a lot of think type things here, and just going through this stuff in my head, but I don't know what, like, where does this end? Like, how far do you think Trump's going to take some of this stuff, right? I mean, we're literally at a point now where.
Well, the irony of what Sage is saying right now is, if you're on the right or conservative or even right of center or even heck right of far left, you've kind of been asking yourself the same question: when is the summer of love going to end? When is all the rioting and the BLM and the Antifa and the? I mean, he said he identifies as Antifa, and I guess based on just the terminology on face value, I would say that I would agree that there's nothing wrong with that statement. However, now hear me out. However, I've got some information on the origins of Antifa that might kind of shock and surprise some people. It's not quite modernly what it was prior. I'm guessing. Listen, it says sign up ends in 7 minutes, so I'm thinking the reset's going to happen relatively soon, maybe 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I don't know if Aqua's still in here or not. There was a newspaper article calling the town I grew up in as a racist, rowdies, and rednecks. Yeah. And then you got idiots like, Chris, Chris, Uranus Dick Rider, fourth of his name, put some respect on it. It just runs around, casting aspersions upon people.
Antifa is now, was there other stuff I wanted to show? Antifa is now a domestic terrorist group, even though there's no centralization of Antifa. Like there's no central leader of it. There's no central organization of it. It's just kind of anybody that can just say, yeah, I'm anti-fascist, so you're Antifa. Well, yeah, okay, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, usually I dump the first caller because I don't know what they're going to say sometimes, and I don't want them getting, how it's going to go. Here's the other thing. You guys, we're looking at a lot of stuff going on in regards to energy and power. And I've talked about this before.
You ain't wrong there.
In regards to that drill, baby, drill. Everybody's like, drill, baby, drill. It's a great thing. Energy's going to come way down. The price of energy is going to come way down. Drill, baby, drill in America. And so that energy is so cheap. And I seriously don't think people think about that when they say it out loud. If energy becomes so cheap, why would oil companies continue to drill? If it's so cheap that they're not profitable, why would they continue to drill? And I hear this all the time, and it's almost like
that's a really good
can't
point.
Process this information. So when OPEC is drilling and OPEC is still upping production, that puts more barrels of.
That's actually a really good point, man. everyone wants it to be cheaper, right? It's actually a really good point.
Oil out there, and the more barrels of oil out there, the lower the price of oil. Well, when you add tariffs onto things like steel and things like that, which oil companies need because they got to run that pipe underneath the ground to bring that oil up, and you keep lowering the price of oil by pumping more and more oil, why would?
Well, I mean, if you have, it's supply and demand, right? I mean, if you're able to only sell 10 barrels of oil at $5 or $100 a barrel, right? Versus you're able to sell 20 barrels of oil at $90 a barrel. Overall, this is basic economics. So I understand very rudimental at a rudimentary level. I understand what he's saying there, and what he's saying makes kind of some sense there. But also at the end of the day, I know people hate when people use that terminology at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do this. But at the end of the day, if you can only sell 10 barrels of oil every month for $100, you're limited to $1,000 of income, so to speak. Not including overhead and stuff like that. But if you have the ability to sell 20 barrels of oil at $90 a barrel, you're making a massive difference, it would seem to me. I don't know. Right? Does that make any sense? Oh, maybe I'm getting it wrong.
Oil companies in the United States continue to pump oil at a loss. And I've asked this question to people also, and I haven't gotten a lot of answers, to be honest. I mean, I've gotten a lot of people that think they know, but then when I say that, they're like, well, I don't know, right? So that's not a...
So how did you like... What's up, Giggles? I'll see you back later. So how did you like my answer to that, chat? I mean... If you can pump more oil, that means you can sell more barrels. And if you can sell more barrels, you can cut the overhead cost of it a little bit and still overall make a massive net beneficial gain, right? It would seem to me anyway. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know.
Thing. And the more oil we pump, the more natural gas we also pump also. And so my question also is that why would they do that? Like, why would they continue to pump at a loss? And the next thing is if we're going to need more energy, why would we be getting rid of all sorts of energy? Like, why, if wind companies, like people who build and want to invest in windmills, are willing to put their money in it to build windmill farms or, offshore wind or solar panels or things like this, why would we not want that? What would be the benefit of basically telling solar companies and wind companies and battery companies and things like this that we're not going to invest in that, we're not going to let you build here, we're not going to let that technology come to this country, even though those are advancements in technology which benefit us in a lot of other different ways? Is that like, why is this happening? Right? I mean, like I said,
I would say the overall argument for why energy should be as cheap as possible, because it's the greatest upwardly mobile how do I explain it? The greatest way for any peoples to be upwardly mobile. How do I'm saying that in a horrible way, I think. Economic opportunity. That's the word for third world countries.
Like I said, we have truck drivers that are basically, we're in a freight recession. Like, we are literally in a freight recession. I mean, freight is moving by the rail. So rail is usually up because people are trying to save money. So the rail, when you don't have to, I got it. Oh, it's almost like this call has happened before. I have this deja vu feeling. How can I help you?
Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
So I got a question for you.
Sure.
How do you feel about Trump?
How do I feel about Trump today? Meaning what? Like his health or
Like, how do you feel about him in general?
I don't like Trump.
You like him? I like him too, man.
No, I don't
You
like
want to know
Trump.
why?
Right? I don't like Trump. You don't like him either?
You don't like Trump?
No.
I'll give you a reason why
Sure.
you should like him.
Why
If
should
you
I?
listen to the song.
What?
Okay. Is that why you voted for your president?
What?
Did you vote for Trump, honestly?
Yeah.
Why? And when you voted for him, what part did you vote for?
His funk leadership, man.
Was it more of the fact that he walked in on children in dressing rooms?
That's awkward.
Oh, it must have been. It must have been. He didn't like that. He didn't like that question. That was weird, right? That was kind of weird. I don't know. Okay. So basically, also what we're looking at is the power demand for AI data centers is quadrupling in 10 years. Like, we are literally going
He's
to
right
need
there.
so much more power when it comes to the AI data centers, right? But the problem is that that's everywhere. United States is this blue down here, right? China is up there. Europe is up there. Japan, Latin America, like, they're all up there. Like, power in general is going to be needed everywhere for these AI data centers because they're going to be everywhere, right? We're not just going to be the only ones. Now, we're hopefully.
I mean, all it's going to take is China to send a mothership of little drone EMPs, and they could cripple the United States of America. They could cripple whatever parts of the United States of America they wanted to cripple. They'd send little EMP drones. Could be like man, I'm telling you, man, it's about to get ugly for America. People don't realize it. I'm pretty sure within the next year and a half to 2 years, about 2/3 of the population of the United States of America is going to be cold. I'm sorry, when did Trump do that? Do what about the AI and stuff like that, and all the power centers and the fusion centers? Yeah, he's 100% for it, if that's what you're asking. He's been promoting that big time. He was a big proponent of like 5G too. I remember during the Wu flu. I remember Verizon and all these like cable companies were putting out 5G towers left and right, like they were the most crucial things that could ever be put in place. Meanwhile, meanwhile churches are closed down, mom and pop stores are closed down, but Walmart's open, Target's open, Amazon's making billions and billions and billions in profit. I mean, I think at some point in time, people got to see the writing on the wall. When Donald Trump's bragging about Operation Warp Speed, like it's some kind of big something to be celebrated, I'm sorry. I don't agree. I really don't agree. I think it couldn't be more wrong. I don't know, man. No, he stated Trump walked in on... during... Gotcha, okay. When he was when he owned the beauty pageants, he was able to walk in anywhere and visit. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it, or I don't know that there's any proof of it per se. But I think he was on camera. I think he's he was recorded saying, "Yeah, I own it, so I can go anywhere I want there, and I can go in the dressing rooms while they're getting halfway undressed and stuff like that." It's a little creepy. That's a lot creepy, actually. I mean, if you were a father, I don't think you would be okay with that, would you? No, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be okay with my daughter. All right, let's go ahead and attack with everything. See what happens here. So yeah, I think there is some actual that he did that. Matter of fact, the video I'm going to be reviewing soon is going to talk about the fact that Charlie Kirk's wife was just randomly sent basically a flyer saying, "Hey, you should be a you should be in a beauty pageant." Basically, I think we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do this. And we're gonna do this. All right. Out of nowhere, she was Miss Colorado or something like that. I'll have to do some research on it, but yeah, Charlie, or her dad, actually had a contract to help build Trump Tower. I mean, the ties that bind are pretty extraordinary, and I'm not a big believer in coincidences, folks. If you haven't been watching me for a long time, you'll realize that I just don't believe in coincidences at all. So let's go ahead and attack with this. Let's go ahead and put it on there. End turn. See what happens here.
We're moving towards trying to be a leader in AI. But so my question is that China's moving towards wind and nuclear and solar and every possible way to be able to produce electricity to be able to do this stuff. Why aren't we? Like, why are we?
Well, first off, because wind and solar is a net negative, especially on the environment. It takes more actual fossil fuels to create it and maintain it, and in some cases, even to operate it, to make it seem like the wind is operating it. It kills a lot of wildlife. I find it a little bit ironic, though, that those that call themselves green and this, that, and the other thing don't really seem to realize what they're even backing or what they're behind.
We literally not doing that. Like, I don't understand. Sonia, real quick. Appreciation Day.
His number 856-600-4654. Sage Outcast. I have questions.
So I mean, I don't know. And like I said, do me a favor, hit the like button, share this out so we can find more MAGA people to basically explain to me how things really are working, how things are really going, how well, Trump is actually doing, and that I don't know what I'm talking about. Things like that. If that would be fantastic, because those calls always go real well. They always go real well. But you're welcome to call in, and even if, like I said, you tell me what you think. If you think Trump is leading the way, if you think it's a good thing.
Hey, what's up, Billy?
I do want to know,
Good to
like
see
I
you.
said, honestly, what would it take for somebody to be a dictator?
Get my butt whooped.
What attributes would it actually take for that to happen? I mean, and because right now we're at a point where he's basically saying, hey, you can't talk bad about me. You can't talk bad about me. And if you talk bad about me, we're going to have to go ahead and pull your licenses to networks.
That's kind of what I'm warning people. Wow. That's what I've been warning people. Y'all like what he's doing to the left now, but what happens when you say something that Trump doesn't like, or whoever's in charge doesn't like, and they just come over and they unperson you and cancel you, and you're like, well, the left's been doing that to us for like almost a decade and a half. Fair enough. It don't make it right that the left's doing it. So now if we're in power, we get to do it. I mean, that's really myopic, very myopic. And I find it so interesting how just because I might have a criticism of Donald Trump, then people might think that I'm not being, I don't even know what the right word is, that I'm not patriotic, that I don't love my country. I don't think what could be more patriotic than criticizing your leadership. I mean, that's peculiarly what makes us Americans, in my opinion, to be able to freely criticize your leadership. We don't have kings, right? Nor should we ever have kings. I don't think. So I don't know, man. I'm just kind of sitting here looking at it, going, all right, okay, hold on. There's something strange going on here, and people are gonna get so caught up in rooting for their team that by the time the other team comes into power, you're not gonna know what to do, man. Yeah. Destroy target non-creature, non-land. I can do choose one. If you descended, you may choose both. Okay. Let me see. So descending means each time a permanent card is put into your graveyard. So I can do this. I'll put that into my graveyard because that works. Then I can do this, which means I can do that and that, which I can kill that, and then I can kill that. Ooh, that's nice. There's videos and articles where Trump stated as such, yeah, about walking in on the young ladies in different states of undress.
So, if that's not the start of a dictatorship statement in regards to let's get rid of free speech.
That's one thing you'll find about being on my channel. Unless I don't know of something, unless I have a blind spot to it, so to speak. I'm pretty open-minded about criticizing either side.
What the hell is? Like, legitimately, what is? I don't understand. I really don't. So, again, my question is, if you're in the audience, if you're in here, please feel free to call in and explain to me what it would take. What would he have to do for you to finally say...
This is actually where I kind of tuned in this morning on the show, and then I got on a phone call, I think, with Killa this morning. By the way, guys, just so you know, Jagoff, known as Chris Ryder, and apparently the angry victimizer, or the agitated victimizer, are attacking Lick's channel. That makes 2 copyright strikes, apparently, that he has on his channel right now. And they have him at a disadvantage, kind of over the barrel, so to speak, because they know he won't contest it. Because if he contests it without having representation, they'll be able to know his actual true identity. He has to put his information to include his address, his real name. I think there's a copy of his driver's license is attached to it in some way, shape, or form or fashion. So just be aware, chat, that they're doing some kind of weird, creepy, argy-bargy stuff. Not cool in my opinion. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's station this up. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of a dictatorship situation right there.
Howard Stern and Trump. Oh yeah.
On the streets.
Yeah, I think that's where he was talking about. It was on the Howard Stern show, where everyone just feels free to say any kind of disgusting stuff they want.
We got that.
And nobody pushes back.
Is it eliminating free speech? Well, we just got that. Is it, taxing the American people? We got that. Is it lying? I mean, do you think... I have another question, too. Is MAGA okay with Donald Trump legitimately lying to them?
Yeah. I agree, MC. The fact that you have to get representation in order to kind of defend yourself, I think that's kind of jacked up too. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and swing.
And they know it. Because I think they know it, right? I'm pretty sure Megan knows he lies to them. I mean, because most of the time when people call in, they basically say things like, well, either all politicians lie, or they'll say things, well, yeah, but that's just Trump. Like, so I think he lies directly to you. I mean, he's lied about the Epstein files. He told you most of you guys were, idiots and stupid to believe they existed. I mean, that's something that I never thought he would say out loud.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Trump's under some kind of weird blackmail pressure, or he's just in on the whole thing. At this point in time, I'm pretty skeptical about all politicians. Kind of like Killa says all the time. They're all corrupt. They're all guilty. Let's see. I've got Boots back. There's a way I can help him, and there's nothing they can do. They can have my info. Roger, I hear what you're saying. So you're saying give him your channel. Heard. Yeah. Maybe I'll make a channel and give it to no, because I don't want to associate it with my brand, because I think it would shut down all my channels. But I'm thinking about us setting up some kind of a give, send, go to kind of help lick the whole boot, or any of us that are being pressured by this jackassery to hire attorneys that would represent us in order to, so that way, I don't think I have one. Sorry, I'm responding to Katie Z text message here. I'm gonna let this play.
And he did, like he said it out loud, not just in a tweet type thing or in a statement, like legitimately out loud. He said it. I never thought he would say that to MAGA. I thought he would dance around it. I thought he would skate it. I thought he would run from it. I thought all that, but I never thought he would basically say that the people that believe that, his followers that believe that, are basically stupid, to be honest. Well, maybe that's an actual true statement from him. Maybe there is some truth to what Donald Trump says sometimes. Not a lot, but maybe that's true. So I'm just wondering, and I guess nobody in MAGA can answer the question because nobody's calling in and letting me know what it actually takes. And I don't understand. But like I said, good. Telecom threat foiled at UN cache of devices. Plot to disrupt cell network. I wonder who did that. Who do you guys think would do something like that? That would basically try to disrupt cell networks at the UN. Anybody? You think it was us? Probably. Us? China? Maybe Russia? Do you guys think it's Russia? Let's find out who this is. Let's find out what's going on here, shall we? Oh, maybe we can't yet. Oh, yeah, we can. Oh, look, I got to do this little game. Look at that. Look, I'm already old. I'm already 50 years old, and I'm putting puzzle pieces together. Cache device. Oh, God, I'm not paying for the wall. Oh, I don't have to. Maybe later. Hang on. Of crashing cell networks found near UN. Secret Service discovered more than 100,000 SIM cards and nearly 300 servers which could disable cell towers be used to conduct surveillance. I wonder who that is. Probably China, Russia, all that type stuff. Maybe Bangladesh, because we're putting tariffs on. You know who it probably is? It's probably that island with the penguins that we tariffed. They got to be pissed. All right, let me see what else I got going on here. I thought I'd have more people calling in telling me that, Trump is not a dictator, but I guess everybody here believes he is a dictator. Hang on.
Yeah,
there
I agree,
was
MC.
a video I wanted to play. Oh, let me just go to my history.
I think they're finally coming around to the fact that he is.
Yeah, they might be. They actually might be finally figuring it out that he actually is. All videos. Maybe somebody here hasn't come around to it.
You really are a disgusting, sniveling little subhuman being. You know that, BSBT? What's it like to know that you will always be an obsequious little spineless turd that gets flushed down toilets? You run away from men all the time.
Sage Outcast hotline to help you get over the fact that Trump's a dictator. How can I help you?
Hey, did you have breakfast today?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes, that's not who asked the question, but good luck. Nice try.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm a new listener. Please don't hang up.
Yeah.
I do want to say something. This
Sure.
whole Trump free speech thing with Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Did you have breakfast?
Just the outrage on the right that it wasn't actually a violation of free speech. It's just ridiculous. Look, I'm old like you're old too, right? I'm 54. You're 50, right?
I
Love
am.
that.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I feel like we grew up in a different America with different leaders that actually weren't snowflakes or weren't bought and sold 50 times over. Like, have you seen the quote from LBJ to the Smothers Brothers? I think it's perfect. So the Smothers Brothers, apparently late night act, were on late night TV.
Yes.
They made a joke at LBJ's expense, and they felt bad about it. So they actually wrote him a letter and apologized. Imagine that, right? And LBJ wrote back and said to them, look, part of the price of leadership of this great and free nation to be
Amen.
the target of clever satirists. Look, you've given the gift of laughter to our people. May we never grow somber or so self-important.
Guys, just so you know that there is a that Billy is at court today. I believe he might be at court right now. So put out some good vibes for Billy. Matter of fact, I'm kind of glad I remembered. He's dealing with lawfare too. All right. Sorry guys, let me do that. I'm kind of glad I remembered. Prayers for Billy. Prayers, Billy, not me, Billy. Yes. Prayers for Billy, as in rabbit. Yep. We'll keep this. Say hello. Oops. And we'll say. All right, let's do it. Boom, 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 boom. Wild thing.
That we fail to appreciate the humor in our lives. That's a president supporting free speech
This
in
guy
a
just
country
gonna
where
spam hello the whole
people
time?
have differing views. This orange menace is just a snowflake that just melts. I mean, look, we all know that if he wasn't called
Billy,
out
you're gonna get muted.
at that dinner for journalists in Washington, like almost 2 decades ago by Obama, that he probably wouldn't have even ever run for president because it was just to get back at the smart black guy up there at the podium.
So,
I mean,
what do you
it's
think?
just insane.
What do you think it would take for people to actually feel that Trump's an actual dictator? Like, what's the line? Like, because I'll say that he.
I gotta say, it's getting, like I said, I used to be 75% believing that Trump was a decent American that loved his country. I mean, he does have a lot of children and grandchildren, so one would think he's got a vested interest in it succeeding. But the whole, like, doing a whole, like, Las Vegas style Gaza Strip shit kind of lost me on that one. Really lost me on that one. I don't know. The whole thing is just kind of. I went from 75% thinking that he was going to be on the right side of history to now I'm like it might as well just be a coin flip for me at this point in time. I'm more undecided than I think I've ever been.
He's a dictator. Like, no, he's not. And but what do you actually believe it would?
Do I think he's a dictator? No, he's. Do I think he would take that reign if he could get away with it? Probably, as would pretty much anyone who's in a position of power in this country at the end of the day.
Take for people to say, yeah, that might be kind of a dictator situation there. Like, I don't
look. Yeah, no, I hear you. I think typical right-wingers do not respond to any reality until it affects them personally.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So it's going to take somebody in their family to not get cancer treatment, one of their kids. It's going to take a relative to lose their health care. It's going to take a friend of theirs or an acquaintance who knew a coworker who happened to be in this country in the process of getting their citizenship, for them to be put on a plane and flown to a gulag somewhere until it affects
He's not
them.
wrong.
Or when all these tariffs finally kick in, which we know they actually are in the process of doing it. I've seen crazy videos of people getting bills from FedEx.
Yeah, that's because of
until
the
it affects their bottom line.
Yeah, the small
Yeah,
tariff. There used to be
exactly.
a waiver in regards to $800 or less for tariffs, but now
That's
that's
right.
kind of that's gone now.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it's called.
The minimus.
Yep, de minimis.
De minimis
Yep.
exception. Yeah. Exactly. It does. They don't care. Like, look, it's
Yeah,
red all
that's
the way.
true.
Our guys are the highway.
And see that's kind of true there. I don't really have a disagreement with that statement. That's interesting. All right, let's try to kill that thing. See what happens here.
If it feels good, if it's hate, if it's
Gonna
bias,
bounce
if
it.
faux news. I don't call it Fox News. I call it faux news. If faux news tells them to be upset about.
Frankly, this guy sounds a bit like I don't know. We'll just say there's a certain type out there. This guy seems like the kind of guy that probably has dual citizenship to a country in the Middle East that's not Arabic speaking or Arabic in general.
About something, they fall in line every time, and it takes a reality slap across the face for them to
bounce
change
me.
anything about their behavior or their thoughts, which is really sad. I mean, look, half my family are MAGA and went out of their way and have.
I think it's coming soon. I think I'll get an announcement. It'll probably say that I can't play any more games and I need to like reload it. I think it's pretty soon, probably between 12 and 1 maybe. I'm trying to remember when the reset happens, but I'm kind of eagerly awaiting it, probably like most of you are.
And by the way, I have a new sticker on my car. I think it's actually kind of clever. It's not, but I thought it was clever. It's like a Star Trek insignia. It says NCC 2015 USS Never Trump.
Nice.
I've been on that train since the beginning, since he went down that stupid, gaudy elevator after being turned
Oy
into
vey.
a supposedly smart man by a producer of a television show.
Been saving
So
gold.
I'm tired
Nice.
of telling people, you know what reality television is, right? It's television shot.
I'm going to draft. I'm going to try to get my collection filled up by drafting. I was going to do the same thing with the latest draft pool, but I think I'm in like the 90 percentile, like upper 90 percentile of collection with it. But I just I didn't really like the last collection. I didn't like what it did to the meta. I think the meta kind of sucks now, personally. I don't know. It's off.
To look like reality. It's not reality. This guy was one of the worst people that producer of that show ever
We'll
worked
keep
with.
it up
He
there.
showed up. He was unprepared. He was crass. He was probably grabbing women by the pussy in the back room. And everybody thinks he's a smart businessman after having six shots and
Bankruptcies, yeah.
losing all of his like.
What is
I
your
don't know where to
family
start,
that's
man.
mad?
This guy's just like super spurging out. He's doing all the lefty talking points about Trump. And I mean, some of them are right, but at this point in time, it's just like a masturbatory like spurg session here. Right at this point in time.
Mega,
People
what
are
do they
lost.
still support?
And I can kind of low-key tell that it's annoying the hell out of Sage right now. He's like, look, I want people. I don't want people. I don't want an echo chamber. I kind of want to have conversations with people that might have either slight or full-on disagreements with me. Fair enough. I can respect that. It makes more interesting TV, so to speak.
Like, what are they still like? Wow. I mean, do they like? What is their holding on to?
I don't know.
Salt piles
All I
to
can
pick
say
on
is I feel
people.
like he hates the same
Yeah.
people that they hate.
It's funny. Oh, here we
And
go.
He uses religion as a tool.
I really wish they would get rid of the reanimation aspect. It's crazy. They need to increase how much it costs. I mean, it's bad. It's just bad. I mean, a 10-10 by turn 4, turn 5, turn 3, depending on everything. It's kind of low key out of control at this point in time. My
To
opinion.
keep them in control. He's not a religious man. He never has been. You know, look back. I challenge anybody out there wearing a red hat today to go back and look at who Trump was in the 80s and 90s. He was a Democrat. He was in New York. He was a Democrat. His views were very lined up to the Democratic side, and somehow he co-opted the Republican Party and took it over and has turned it into this vile hate machine of bile that these people love. I mean, it makes them feel self-righteous that they know something that we don't. That he hates the same people that we do. It's just super sad. I mean, people that I love support this man blindly, and I'm going to have to go interact with them at Thanksgiving, man.
You ever ask them why? Your people, why your fam support him?
Yeah,
blindly?
they say,
Yeah, for the meta,
they-
it's out of
they
control.
Very proudly reply, I don't watch the news, and I don't want to talk about it. So
Oh, okay.
really, clever escape.
Omniscience.
So they're completely
Yeah.
disconnected.
Yeah, I agree, Seth.
They don't watch the news. They can stew in their own juices.
I mean, it's just stuff like that just ruins the enjoyment. I mean, like I like to be able to put a deck together like that and just kind of see how it builds, like playing chess. You know, who wants turn 4 frickin' checkmate, dude? There's really nothing you can do about it, unless you have the exact cards to defeat that particular move, which then now you're talking about there's 10 archetypes out there, possibly. Ones that do a thing, and then ones that try to stop that person from do a thing with a chance to try to win the game after stopping someone from doing thing they want to do, right? You see what I'm saying? It's I don't know, man. It becomes a little out of control at that point in time.
Of what they think is real and not real, and that all Democrats are evil. And be hateful, spiteful people who, supports a guy that hates the same people they do. It's really that simple. I mean, and unfortunately, one of my, parents is in that camp. So My father passed away after buying all of Glenn Beck's books in a wooden freaking case because he worshipped Glenn Beck. I mean, this is the pedigree I have to outlive and escape, and I'm so glad I did. It's just ridiculous, man. Like this country.
Guy sounds like a kind of like a lispy, kind of really angry. What's the word I'm even thinking of? Bitter, J with a G kind of guy. You know? I don't know. Seems like he's got like a, oh, my dad rejected me because I wanted to suck dicks at the truck stop. It's just the, well, what's your argument against his policies? Okay, fair enough. Bring an argument. But this like catty kind of like, that's why I don't like it. Like, you know, even when people that I agree with and most parts are kind of allied with me, so to speak, just spurg out and act all kinds of extra. You know what I mean? Like, instead of bringing an argument, they just attack people's characters or call them a chomo and all this other stuff. Like, sometimes it's fitting if they are, you know, or if somebody's like calling you some crazy thing without any proof, you know, that's like one of those, oh, I thought we were just, you know, throwing out baseless accusations against each other. I thought that's the game we were playing. I don't believe you diddle children. But, you know, when I ask you, when did you stop diddling children, and you get offended by that, well, imagine how offended somebody might get, right? When you're accusing them of X, Y, or Z, right? I don't know. I think I'm not going to win here, chat. I don't think I'm going to win. I don't think even... I'm kind of shocked he blocked. Well, maybe there's a reason for it, but... Yep. Nope. That's game. That'd be a good game. Yeah. I'll just concede here. Unfortunate.
It used to be great. We used to all come together and do great things, and now we can barely, you know, we can't do anything. Our bridges are crumbling. People are losing money.
I agree with them on that one.
People are losing their jobs, and the unemployment rate is a complete fake. It's probably closer to 25%. I mean, we need to do better for ourselves.
I agree.
We're just selling out this country to the billionaires.
Yeah, but at the other, I mean, I don't disagree with some of the things this guy's saying here. But sort of at the end of the day, though, right? Like, if people aren't getting jobs, whose fault is that? I gotta figure out a way to get a little bit more mana, because or maybe I just need a little bit more removal. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Maybe 2 more of those. Yeah, we'll try that. I need a little bit more removal, I think. Let's go ahead and play this.
Who, on their way to late-stage capitalism, they're burning this country to the ground for them to make $1, and we're just standing by with our thumbs up our butts, waiting for ourselves to become millionaires.
Yeah, I agree.
And we never will. So
what?
It's just sad, man.
I'm not going to be a millionaire. No, I do appreciate your call. Now I got to hang up on you because you tell me I'm not going to be a millionaire. But I do appreciate your call, bro. All right.
Thanks, man.
Bye-bye. How dare he thou? I don't think that's a real thing. I'm not going to be a millionaire. What the son of a... Trump said I'm going to be. Trump said it's going to be the Gilded Age. The age of a gilding. Gilded.
I think that's a mark of a good, like, podcaster, because, you know, frankly, sometimes Sage kind of annoys the crap out of me and frustrates me. And sometimes I find him actually rather entertaining and charming almost. Yeah, kind of weird. A weird dichotomy. I think it's a sign of a good, like, podcaster, though, if you ask me. You know, kind of equal part annoys you or frustrates you and engages you at the same time. So fair enough.
Gilded Age. Hey, you guys know the Gilded Age, and I could be wrong about this. Call me crazy, but I think when you gild.
You said, why did they give me my dailies before releasing the set? Now I can't play. What does that even mean? I can't play. What do you mean? Oh, discard a card. This one? Sure.
Something. You still have the base of something, right? And then you put a very fine line of gold on it, or whatever. And that's the gilding of something, right? I don't know if I'm crazy.
Gilding the lily.
Gilded. That's I don't know. So it looks like it's solid gold, but it's actually like not. And isn't that the Gilded Age?
Oh, you want the experience?
I don't
from
know.
Master?
Maybe I'm wrong
Gotcha.
on that.
Yeah.
I could be crazy. I could be crazy on that.
I thought it was where they removed everybody's
Gildings?
genitalia.
Oh,
Yeah.
everybody's gildings are gone. That could be too. That could be.
I think you're thinking of a geldling. Geldling, and it has to do, I think, with horses. Eunuch would be removing a man's reproductive parts.
Me too. Let me. I did want to play this because these guys
Gelding.
talked about some of the stuff too, and I kind of fact
Quarters
checked.
at 10.06 and a quarter.
Ooh.
December Chicago wheat down 1 3/4 at
Too
5.09.
fast.
December
Too
Kansas
fast.
City wheat
He
down
talks
3/4 at
fast.
$5 even. December spring wheat up 1.5 at 5.65.5. Lots of news out of Argentina yesterday. Why don't we start there?
So Argentina suspended export taxes on a range of agricultural products yesterday, including corn, soybeans, and wheat. The measure is intended to boost export sales and generate revenue to stabilize the peso and rebuild dwindling reserves.
Yes.
The suspension will remain in effect until the end of October or until declared exports total $7 billion. The tax break is expected to trigger a wave of selling with more than $8 billion worth of last season's harvest still unsold. Analysts, however, caution that the surge could create a supply glut and cap potential price gains. Also on Monday, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the U.S. is ready to use all necessary measures to help prevent Argentina from sliding back into crisis after a sharp sell-off in its financial market.
Sliding back into financial crisis. So your government's going to bail out Argentina while our farmers here in America are struggling.
Markets driven by the weakening peso.
All right, we're going to get to the U.S. aid to
And the truck drivers.
Argentina in a second. First, I want to run through this tax cut scenario and exactly what's going on. So Argentina is a substantial exporter of corn, soybean meal, and soybean oil. They don't export a whole lot of soybeans because they crush most of what they produce. Argentina projected to be the world's third largest corn exporter this year, accounting for 18% of projected exports. With regard to soybeans, only 3% of projected exports. They are the top meal exporter, and they are the top.
Wow, you guys see that chart back there? You guys see that? Back up, back up, back up, back up.
Oh, I'm thinking of Venezuela and Argentina. Never mind.
All right, United States is definitely corn. We are not soybeans. We are not soybean oil. Yeah, well, we don't do soybean oil. I
don't keep a whole lot of corn around, and we're in this period right now where they're getting ready to plant the forthcoming crop. So old crop supplies of corn, soybean meal, and soybean oil are very much exhausted. I don't know that they're going to be selling very much of any of those items. They've got a lot of soybeans sitting around. 24 million metric tons is USDA's estimate of the ending stocks. And the reason that they hold a lot of soybeans on an annual basis is for a couple of reasons. In Argentina, they use soybeans, exporters and farmers both. They use soybeans kind of as a store of value because their currency is so volatile and they've had crazy inflation. The political environment is just very much uncertain. So they hold soybeans as a store of value. The other reason is that they crush a lot of the soybeans. So I think that the processors like to keep healthy stocks on hand. I don't know that this I don't know necessarily that this tax cut results in a ton of additional export business. It's going to be a little bit. Is it really going to eat in to what the United States is doing? Is it really going to hurt us? I don't know if I'm convinced of that. Let's go to this next story. So
now remember, this is President Trump and his leaders. And remember, while he's taxing the American people with tariffs, and that was another thing too. It seems like all of a sudden Brock, who I was going to debate, and we were trying to find things to debate that I kept saying different things that I, could easily talk about. And he couldn't find any of those things. Well, I don't care about any of those things. I said, well, fine. You tell me what you want to debate and give me a couple things, and I'll say, okay, just pick one. Well, he doesn't get it. Once I asked him to do that, he's just like, no, never mind. And he ghosted me. He's silent now. So first he comes out and he's like, yeah, I'll debate you. What do you want to debate? I'm like, what about this? No, this, no, this, no, this, no, this, no, this, no. And we went on. And then I finally.
I mean, I could probably think of all kinds of things that I could debate him about, but I'd rather have a discussion, really, at the end of the day. I'd probably rather have a discussion. I don't know that I'm a good debater. I think I make good logical points, but I don't think I know enough about proper structured debating to really make any kind of a difference.
Bro, there's no need for me to keep calling stuff off for you to say no. So why don't you decide what we debate, and then we'll go from there. And I heard nothing. Crickets. And we're not going to debate crickets. What I'm saying is we're not going to actually, nothing from him. There's nothing. I haven't heard anything from him in any way, shape, or form yet. which I find kind of weird. But this is kind of what happens normally. Or I'll bring this to other people and be like, hey, well, what about this? But I don't understand. Like, legitimately,
fucking landfall shit is fucking retarded too. Oh, it's so. It's the same 5 fucking decks. It's the same 5 decks over and over and over again.
I thought Donald Trump was for the farmers, for the truckers.
I mean, I'm really thinking about just not really. I mean, listen, if this new, like Lorwyn, I'd probably be interested in that one. The one where it's like with all the different mythical things or whatever. Maybe I'll give that a shot. I think I might be done kind of like sending my money to Wizards of the Coast or whatever these people are at this point in time. They're just kind of destroying it. The game's just, it's getting bad. It's getting so bad.
For the Americans, for this. Well, I don't.
So the U.S. is going to do some sort of, call it a bailout, whatever you want to call it, with regard to Argentina and their financial situation. The support could involve measures such as currency purchases. We might buy some Argentina sovereign debt. We might use swap lines. The reason that we're...
How the hell are we going to buy anyone's debt, dude? We're so in debt. We can't afford to buy anyone's debt. That's magic, baby.
Doing this is because Argentina...
Numi. Is it Numi? Yeah, that's the bald-headed dude. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. Let's get rid of this. It seems like that's important to him. Let's get rid of it. Seems like he wants that. No soup for you, buddy. That's magic, baby.
Argentina is seen as a key U.S. ally in Latin America.
That's a good way to just not get all black-pilled with it, actually. You just got to kind of stay positive.
We want to maintain some influence there.
That's a good
We want to signal that if a country follows market-friendly practices, in quotes, that the U.S. is willing to support them, but there's no finalized package.
Just so you know, these guys right here, I listen to them because they're neutral. They don't pick sides in regards to Biden. He complains about Biden all the time. He complained about at least the Biden administration. He's not
pull out into historic when it gets old.
All options are on the table. If you're a farmer,
probably not a bad idea.
That's who we talk to. This is probably not like the best news and probably an aggravating headline because Argentina is actively working with China to ship grain and oilseeds to China. Back in May, this Bloomberg article is from May. China is said seeking Argentina crops as it skirts U.S. tariffs. China signed a letter of intent with exporters in Argentina to buy about $900 million of soybeans, corn, and vegetable oil. It's not necessarily a ton of money, but if you're a U.S. farmer, you got to be looking at this and saying,
good old-fashioned life gang.
What to this point has this administration really done to help the U.S. farmer? So to put this in context, the Trump administration was elected into office in late 2024, right? And I would argue that at that time, November of last year, the U.S. farm economy was in its second year of recession. There is no recession scorekeeper. I'm your recession scorekeeper. Last year was the second year of the U.S. farm economy recession. This year is the third year of the U.S. farm economy recession. So Trump gets into office, immediately starts a trade war with China. We lose a whole bunch of business. And there really hasn't been much help since. We've seen a lot of talk from Brooke Rollins. Trump hasn't said very much about farmers at all.
By the way, for those that are wondering, I'm listening to Sage Outcast. I've linked his channel several times. If you want to go over, subscribe to his channel. Maybe go into his latest live and, leave him a regular message and say Generally Specific sent me. Probably would. It would be good. I'd let him know that, I respect his content enough to, to not just use it. I'm definitely responding to it. I'm actually learning from it too, and to an extent. So I hope he's okay with it. I mean, I'm not a monetized channel or anything like that, but I still want to respect other content creators, and I am on the show here in a minute. So you want to hear the conversation that I have with Sage Outcast, just stick around. Thinking about another 15, 20 minutes, it'll be popping up.
I mean, he had what I would call a failed phone call with Xi last week. There's been no progress on the U.S.-China trade front. There are some things that were in the big, beautiful tax bill, as Trump would call it, that will help U.S. farmers. Crop insurance safety nets. They're going to increase the reference prices, the small business deductions, estate tax stuff. But that's not right now. What's happening right now is farmers are getting into the field and they're harvesting corn and soybean crops that are going to lose a ton of money. And we've been told that there's going to be a bailout. There's a lot of differing opinions on the bailouts. I don't know if I'm necessarily a huge fan. The trade war this time around, I think, is worse than the last time around because not only is China not buying soybeans, but because the cost of production for the U.S. grower is so astronomically high versus what it was in 2018 or 2019.
This is basically a lock here, chat. I mean, watch. I mean, this is basically a lock. So I'm just going to copy that. It's going to bounce, and then I'm going to swing. Unless he gets rid of my main one, this goes away, right? But I can just keep bouncing all the creatures to his hands over and over and over again. So unless he can sweep it, it's pretty much, yeah, it's game. Really good card. I might even want to put another one of these little fired gizmos in here.
19. So the farmer's in a really tough spot right now. So I think that this administration needs to get its head out of its ass and look at its constituency here, because we're helping Argentina. We're helping a lot of people, but they're not helping the U.S. farmer. Not right here and not right now. And I'm not necessarily saying that a bailout is the answer. I think that's going to be the answer. That's still my contention. They've talked a lot about it, but I'm not thrilled with what's going on here. Here's soybean futures, NOVE 25 fell.
So my question to you guys is, what does it take? Like, what is it like? You have farmers. I'm pretty sure if I were to say truck drivers and farmers are pretty much the heart of the economy, right? The heart of the country. Food and the ability to bring you the food is probably key factors to a successful economy, successful country, actually. I'll be completely honest for it. If you can't eat and you can't get shit delivered to you or to stores, that's bad, right?
Yeah,
that's
really
bad.
Well, it's bad or it's good, meaning at some point in time, people are going to adapt, overcome, and improvise. They're going to sink or they're going to swim. You're either going to pull yourself up by your bootstraps or you're going to get deselected from the gene pool. I know that sounds very Machiavellian, fair enough. But at the end of the day, it's A is not A, is illogical. A is A. It's not for or might makes right. It's might makes, right? Might is just might. Now, how it's used, it's like a hammer in the hands of a carpenter will build furniture, a house, whatever kind of structures. A hammer in the hands of an unaliver will cave somebody's skull in, right? So watch, let's see. This is what Killa and I were talking about this morning about, starting off with 2 mana. The chances are I'm going to be stuck with 2 mana. So let's see what happens here.
We're seeing a recession in both of those. So if we're seeing a recession in both of those, how are we?
I'm gonna skip to where I kind of come in.
I don't like it. They're being taken advantage. But I personally, Ian, man,
I appreciate
Kirk. Oh, here we go. This is me.
I appreciate it.
All right, so I'm getting ready to hop in here now.
I know I have a dump button.
Crazy stuff people are gonna say.
Absolutely.
And if this is,
I actually got to land.
If we were at a bar right now, just having a conversation, we could just hang out and have a good conversation. That's the way it should be. We should literally, as an American people, be able to come out there and not be afraid to have those conversations.
True.
But still, at the end of the day, shake hands and be friends. Because at the end of the day, man, like as a veteran myself, I did not serve this country, so people didn't have a voice.
Yeah, that's a good point, homie. Yeah.
That's for you being prior Coast Guard. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for yours.
But anyways,
all right, brother,
I
I'm gonna
gotta
jump
keep
off.
going, but thank you for having the conversation, and I hope you have a great day.
You too, no problem. Just so everybody knows in the chat, not everything's going to be a debate. Some callers are calling in that I'm not debating everybody, right? Just so you guys know. Oh, for the love of God. Hello, GS. How's it going, brother?
Hey, am I on?
You are on.
All right. I actually got a question for you, and I know you do a lot of deep dives and research on one Donald J. Trump.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, I actually heard something pretty interesting. Now, I'm going to put something in the back chat, and it's up to you whether or not you want to shout out the channel that I actually saw the video. I'm going to review it on my show here pretty soon. But I'm going to put I watch this podcast and I'm really crappy at multitasking, so I will put it in after I ask the question.
Sure.
Have you heard anything interesting about Erica Kirk, about her origins and the fact that Charlie Kirk started up a 501c3, almost immediately got billionaire backers? That happens all the time. And then I guess something about Erica Kirk out of nowhere received some kind of a mailer saying, hey, come be a model for Trump. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not, but I have not really looked into her at all, to be honest. Because until it wasn't until this all happened, she wasn't really anybody that anybody really looked into per se. You know what I mean? She didn't, in my opinion, I don't think anybody was looking into Erica Kirk until what happened to Kirk, right? What happened to Charlie. So I think she was just a part of things, but I don't remember her being a part of the at the forefront or at the
go.
front.
Oh God, I'm so sick
I could
of
be
it.
wrong about that, but I don't remember her being a main.
Oh, I'm so tired of.
Front person of the foundation until Charlie.
I mean, technically, I had an answer in my hand. I probably should have suspected some zombify or some nonsense like that. I mean, and technically, I just was tapped out. God forbid I didn't stop playing my deck in order to have an opportunity to try to counter him, trying to get something out of his graveyard. Who knows how many copies of Zombify he has or how many recursions he has. So sick and tired of seeing 10-10s and 9-9s get yanked out of the graveyard on turn 3 or 4. It's insufferable.
Right. So, well...
No, I mean, do you remember her being a part at the front?
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. This whole thing is like really shady to me because it's like basically they got a martyr in order to get a bunch of
that's me on stage. Yep.
I would say some people would call them Christofascists, or whatever. I mean, however you want to view it, a bunch of people that love Jesus Christ to become very, very angry about an smashimation. I'm trying to be careful. I don't even know what words I can say without jeopardizing your show.
Yeah.
This is all very
Nine-land deck.
And I don't know if you've been watching my show, and listen, I've been biting my tongue about this.
Anti-flooding.
That's
funny.
The other guy, which is it's kind of coming in is very difficult to come in and know what the hell's going on. But anyways, so I haven't. You know what I mean? The other guy that you're in you were going back and forth in the lawsuit thing. I can't remember. I won't mention his name just in case. It starts with a C, but I don't know what I can and can't mention in regards to that.
No, it's good. It's been dismissed, although he's still.
Well, I saw that. I just didn't know. I didn't know if next thing you know, something starts up again. But I did see it. But besides that, yes. But I don't know of anything. I did not know of her. I didn't even know what she looked like until I didn't ever see her until this. So I know nothing about her.
Objectively, you've seen Charlie Kirk, right?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the man smile? Like really smile?
Yes.
It looks like something out of Aliens versus Predator.
Yeah. So you're basically saying 2 verse 8 shouldn't happen. There's too much of a gap between them. Is that what we're looking at?
It's a little. I mean, maybe paternity tests. Maybe somebody needs this. Whether those are even. Listen, I'm trying to be real careful. I'm just saying, the whole thing sounds like a honeypot. A mogul, an empire was built, and her reward for either those laying down with the two was that she was going to inherit this massive and never want for money again.
What was her maiden name? Does anybody know? Do you know her maiden name?
It was it was on Candace Owens. It was some weird like French or German name.
Yeah, I would think German. I could see German.
Yeah, it was like some French or German name, and I remember Candace saying,
"Hang on a second,
well,
chat. Do you know her? Do you know anybody in chat know her maiden name?" Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we could probably look it up real quick, but no, I mean just the whole thing, and I'm trying to be real careful because I haven't really formulated, and this is tinfoil hat, guys. I don't have any proof of this. This is 100% speculation, but ever since the whole beginning of this whole thing, I'm like everything's fallen into place far more conveniently. I used to be about 70%, 75% supportive of Donald Trump, thinking maybe he loved the country.
Somebody said she was Miss Arizona in 2012.
Right. Yes, so she was Miss Arizona. So. Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually just looking up what her maiden name was, and that was the first search that popped up that auto-populated was she was Miss Arizona.
Thank you, Dead Man. You are Dead Man 22.
What was the name?
They didn't found that yet, but he was looking that up and they found out.
Yeah, it's like some weird. It sounds like Fluffer or whatever. And they were Candace, and they were like, you should tell her that her name would be much stronger as Kirk, and that she has a silly last name, and that's how he was able to trick her into marrying him.
One of my mods said that her father had Trump connections.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Frantze.
That's German.
Yeah. So
That's German.
and about the Trump connections,
Well,
I think
there's
Go ahead.
actually two parts of it. There's a N with E with a apostrophe above it, and another E, and then the FRNTZVE. I'll drop it in chat. It's stupid.
Yeah, so the interesting thing is that, yeah, you're right. I believe the father had something to do with building Trump Tower or something.
Yeah,
like
somebody
that,
just my mod just said the same thing, that they had connections through that also.
So I don't believe in coincidences, Sage. How about you?
Very rarely, to be completely honest.
So a civilian having a flag flown at half mast, or is it half staff? I never know what the actual correct terminology. You're a water guy, so you probably know the right.
Yeah, I was in the Water Scouts.
The Water Scouts?
I'm just
Use Coast Guard.
that can swim, basically. French is German surname. That's French. So Fred Zeev, I don't have no idea what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole thing's very interesting. I mean, that's a little thread to be pulled on.
Yeah,
for everyone out there. I mean,
I would tend to agree with that, Sephora.
like Candace has her little internet sleuths. Now here's the thing, and I don't want to speak for my wife too much. She's a very quiet, private person, but when I was listening to her whole speech when she was fake crying, in my opinion, she was fake crying like you wouldn't believe. Talking about that Charlie had people.
A trigger warning. This might upset some of you guys, but this is me being as kind as I can be, but as objective and honest with my observations as I can be as well.
People in place to take over. Like, why 2 days after your husband is dead, or I'm sorry, is unalived, are you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Who gives a crap, dude? If he put people in place, then they should be the ones talking about the plans for Turning Point USA, not the widow. And so the whole thing, I was like showing it to my wife, and I'm looking at my wife, and I'm showing it to my wife. I'm like, I ain't buying any of this, bro. And she was like, no, you're being too harsh. And all the women are crying because they're like putting themselves in the widow's shoes, like. And I'm like, no, you're too close to this. You need to back up from it. And then I'll put a point on this real quick, and I'd love to get your input on it. Apparently, my wife, I haven't seen it yet, but apparently when Charlie was allegedly Charlie and not some animated whatever thing in the coffin with his hands folded, she had her hands over his, and she was rubbing his hands, and
I think
and then I guess she had a Masonic ring on and another ring.
That I didn't know. But I remember the video of the hand thing. I remember that.
Yeah,
I didn't remember the rings though.
Yeah, take a look at that and try to zoom in on it. I mean, you don't have to. Obviously, do whatever you want to do. You probably don't care one way or another. But also, I guess Candace let something slip that she was a Turning Point Masonic or a Mason. So she let something slip that Candace was perhaps part of that whole thing. And I'm just saying, guys, listen, I'm not sushi-sidable. I don't have any sushi-sidable ideations. I love my life. I don't want to get Clinton-sided or any other kind of like Mossad or CIA-sided. But I also not clinging to this world. I cling to the truth. What are your thoughts about? Like, this is something to think about. Obviously, you probably weren't prepared for this. It probably threw you out of left field. That I'm kind of coming in and going. I used to be about 70-75% supportive of Trump. Now I'm like, it's a coin toss at this point in time.
I think the issue is a lot of people are just because there's a. I think the issue is that if he would have handled the rally better, right, and basically made it not about that was a big one there. I think in regards to how that he turned into they're literally turning this whole thing into a run for midterm type stuff, right? It's no longer about the guy. I'm not religious, but just looking at that did not look like a funeral. The way
it looked like a rally.
Yes, it looked like a rally, and I think that was, although the cult, the deep ones loved it. I think a lot of other people are like, man, this is just not right, and I think that was a bad way to go, because you have a lot of Christians or Catholics, however you want to say it, that they didn't want that. They didn't want to see that, right? That was not what they wanted to see. So, and then everything that's going on with the divide and in regards to Trump can't even say, okay, we gotta pull together here at some point. You know what I mean? He's not doing that. So that's one of the things that I would have had to admit, yeah, if he would have stepped up and said, look, whatever this was, that guy did it, and that guy's going to be punished if they can, if they can. And we've got to come together and use this as a point to bring people together, can continue to have conversations, but bring it together and have conversations. And I would have had to fucking bite my tongue and come out and do a pro-Trump show at that point, at least for that aspect. Because that's how it, but that wasn't what happened. And I think people are starting to see the divide, and people are saying, well, wait a minute, when can we stop this? And I think they're getting tired of that, to be honest. And then it's more of a rally, and then now she's taking over, and it's like, wait a minute. Wait,
well, the question is she taking over, or is she always in charge?
Right, you're right. That's a good point too. But at least you know what I mean. She's now showing that she's more taking over, and I think more people are starting to, and I think those holes in the dam are now starting to show other cracks that are like, wait a minute, what about this? And wait a minute, what about this? And hang on, then you had the Groyper situation with Groypers in regards to this, and Groyper were anti-Israel and he was pro-Israel. And then that topic came out with Nick Fuentes, and it was like, holy crap, what's going on here? And I just think that there's a lot more that is being brought out in regards to this, to how Trump's handling things.
Oh, I should have used
that is
this.
starting to show more cracks in the dam, to be honest.
Can I try to steel man what I think you said, and correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah, probably. Put it in English.
It's just a little snippet caught my attention. You're basically saying if Trump came out and said, this individual person did this individual act, therefore don't put a bunch of people in one barrel and then try to persecute them. Is that kind of what you're?
Yes,
if he would have said that. Okay.
If he would have came out at that point and been that guy, because that was the first thing I was doing, saying, look, before we attack anybody, before we do this, before we do that, I'm not coming out and saying that, Trump's rhetoric. I am not the guy. Look, Trump's rhetoric in regards to Jan 6, I don't believe solely led to Jan 6, that speech, right? I've never said that him saying all this drove the people down there. I believe that a lot of it was pushed forward by a lot of different people, pushing a lot of different movements to piss people off.
Not all women.
But I don't think that, like I've said that in regards to that. But I don't believe, like I said, if he would have came out and showed me that the reason for the president of the United States, and one of the main things, is to bring the country together, both Democrats and Republicans, to pass blah, 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 blah. And he doesn't do that. And that was a focal point.
Right. And so to your point, he is the president of the United States. So having incredibly divisive language is dangerous compared to like some Joe Schmo like me or some Joe Schmo like you on your podcast, maybe saying MAGA people, or me saying libtards, or, whatever my divisive language is, far less impactful potentially, I guess, unless you're Charlie Kirk.
Correct.
In which case, I don't know. So let's go on a little bit of a journey. So I give myself grace. I hope I'll allow myself to receive grace from you, and I'll give you the grace about the MAGA people, and maybe you'll give me the same grace about labeling people libtards and put them all the fish in one barrel. And I'm going to try to be more careful about that in the future, and I hope you'll join me in that. So if we go way back to the Summer of Love and all the discontent that was going on, and the ne'er-do-wells and the really violent, whatever they were, that we call the left, if we're quote unquote MAGA people or conservatives, they were allowed to basically just trash, and they're still occupying like ICE fortifications right now. From what I understand, they're still sieging them. So do we not see the danger in letting a particular ideology kind of run wild, so that they start kind of getting addicted to the smell of their own farts, so to speak, thinking that they can't be stopped and they're on the right side of history, in order to create or foment a particular anger towards that whole group, in order for them to be othered or labeled as othered? So makes them less than a human group, which means that you could do atrocious things to them a lot more easily once a certain criteria is met. So the danger here is what I see happening with sacrificing, whether he was actually, any of this happened to him or not, whether he's sitting on an island somewhere, or sacrificing someone like Charlie Kirk, who seemed to be as about moderate as he could be, according to what I've seen, even though I didn't agree with a lot of what he said.
Yeah.
Sacrificing him in order to foment a very horrible, vicious pushback that'll eventually sequentially be the temperature is going to get turned up little by little by little, until there's going to be a crackdown. Next thing you know, people are going to start getting loaded onto rail cars. And that's where it gets dangerous.
and
I don't want to see you, even if I disagree with you.
Yeah, I'll be the first one on the car, knowing my luck. Basically, I think the issue is that you're always going to have these pushbacks, and these pushbacks are required in our country, right? We have protests, we have the right for protest, we have the right for peaceful protest, blah 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 blah. But I think the difference is when the leaders need to be able to come in and tone it down. That's what makes them the leaders, right? The leadership at Roe. So you're always going to have pushback, everything from Rosa Parks sitting on the, not wanting to go to the back of the bus, to eventually turning into everything that turned into. That was, there's a purpose for that. It's how it's brought. When your leaders allow you, it's the same thing in law enforcement. If the chief of police allows his people to beat the crap out of people with not ever studying, hey, then they're going to beat the crap out of people. When our leaders allow this stuff to happen and they basically, or don't tone it down or try to drive it down. And I'm not talking like, I know why some of the stuff happened in regards to them allowing to, destroy property and stuff like that, because at that moment it's easier to get, arrest them later and put them in jail than to spark even more, discontent where it turns to gunfire or something like that. Same thing with January 6th. January 6th, once they got flanked, they basically said, let them in. Just let them in. At this point, we've got the politicians out. Let them in. Guide them this way. And they let the flood dams, so that some people would stop, cops wouldn't get trampled and things like that. And then once they started letting people in, everything calmed down. I understand that aspect of it. But like it or not, right or or left, at some point, people have to pay for what they did, even if it's later. Let's say if they were breaking window, they should be charged for that. If they were beating on cops, they should be charged for that. But when the leaders are not basically coming down and toning it down, that's a problem, because our country was literally designed to at least have protests.
Right, this is ridiculous.
And,
Look at this. Look at this.
Founded on a protest.
Come on.
To have these things happen, we have that freedom of speech. We have that right to protest. We have that. But it's still, and it's a hard job, but it's still the job of the leaders to tone it down. And when that does not happen, then the people that are doing it say,
as soon as I go ranked, I get screwed like this. As soon as I go ranked,
I'm allowed to do it.
So what you're saying, there's
a whole
some
different algorithm,
or quote unquote blood on the hands of those that would allow certain things to happen, and they don't. Okay, so
lack of leadership is bad. There's lack of leadership that becomes a responsible role in our government that we don't seem to have anymore. Leadership.
Fair enough. I'm currently in a situation in which I've got a person that's out on bond, and I've seen this person making a lot of victims all around. And
yeah, I know those.
I'm actually questioning whether or not the prosecutor that in my county that's allowed this person to stay out on bond and has ignored email after email from a bunch of people.
As soon as I go ranked, dude. As soon as I go ranked.
To remain out on bond, my understanding of being out on bond is to mount a defense. Not to go on offense, to remove barriers for you to be able to get to your lawyer, to be able to
correct. And if you're not a flight risk and you're supposed to be yes. Right. But again,
so as far in the vein of leadership,
yep.
As a prosecutor of that's an elected position, I believe, and that's also a position of leadership. Also, and I would agree with you. I think that if you're a soft on crime and there's no bail and that there's just this rotating constant criminals getting charged and getting released, getting charged, getting released, and they're just going out and they're committing more and more crimes, at some point in time, the saturation of, okay, you need to be responsible for, there's blood on all of their hands for allowing this kind of stuff to happen. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that so leadership is from basically local level all the way up to the top, but there's more of an expectation of strong leadership or proper leadership at the top would be your argument. And I think I would agree with that. If that's
and I think that there's other means that even if it's not bail, I believe that we have so much technology that like, here's your collar, here's your tag on your ankle, here's your this, here's your tracking app on your phone, here's this. And I just think that there's so much. So I'm not completely having to say, we can't put them on a bail. But I just believe that the technology that we have and the leadership we could put in place is like, hey, you're out on bail. and do your thing. But if I find out you're here and I get a report and they can vouch for that, or they can use video evidence, or they can show me you were there, you're going to get tagged. You're going to have to wear an ankle bracelet, and we're going to have to put you to this type of level of, we don't want to, but you've just placed us into this. And I understand people are be like, well, that's not right. That's not. But the problem is they were out on bail and then they broke the terms of their bail. So we might not have room in the jail for them. I get it, but we have so many other means to be able to say, okay, we're going to have to now monitor you in this means, because you've broke this term. And I don't see that happening either, right? I just don't see that. Maybe, and I don't see it, but I don't hear of it.
Bam.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I need mana.
Yeah, so is it broken as intended? Is it a bug, or is it a feature of the system in order to create a
what is
disruption
this?
in order for whatever
Dude,
new power structure?
What the hell, dude?
And listen, the whole no kings thing, and you guys saying Trump said, look, man, I'm having less and less resistance to the people that have been opposing Trump for a long time now. I just didn't see it as clearly, I guess.
I think it's it's an overwhelming lack of leadership and the ability to stand up for and basically say, no, we can't do that. Right?
Well, fair enough. Well, I guess there's like 3 minutes left, and I don't.
Yeah, and Tuesdays I end a little bit early because I have to make a meeting at 10. But I do appreciate you coming on, so I'm gonna jump off, brother.
Yeah, and I apologize to anyone that couldn't get in because I was.
No,
Thank
no
you very
problem.
much, Stage. Another good conversation.
Yep.
We'll catch you next time.
Okay, thanks. All right. That being said, that was Generally Specific. You can check him out over there on YouTube as Generally Specific and Subpar Gaming. I got that one right.
All right, he's heading off, and I'm gonna go ahead and move this to there and get some music going. I got the music in me. All right, I'm gonna chill for a little bit, play some Magic the Gathering, and just relax. I don't know exactly when the expansion is gonna come out, but say hello back. Seems like the polite thing to do. I think we gotta go. Whoa, what the hell happened there? I think we go with green. Let's go ahead and break out Jasper Sentinel. Probably turn 2. Bring out the Aspirant. Throw it on here. I used to play this deck way back. I think I got in the top 1,000. I think I was like ranked 743 or something like that with this deck. Really enjoyed it. What are we gonna call this? I think we're gonna go with blue. I think blue. We do this. Go ahead and bend that bad boy. And, go ahead and swing. Swing for 5. Take 5 they're small. Maybe. Alright, opponent is on a 3-turn clock right now, currently. He doesn't block. MC says, I don't know if Trump said much in the beginning of his run and beginning of presidency that bugged me. I do remember the cult mentality at the beginning, very disturbing, then more so now. I think the cult is actually, I think the spell is being broken. I genuinely do, little by little. I think the spell is being broken little by little. Let's see, what are we gonna do? Let's put it on here. Wait. Oh, okay, because it's flying. Oh, I should have gave it to this one. What was I doing? Silly goose. Should have left that as a blocker. Totally forgot about this. I'll say no attack. Yeah, the whole, like, I could go on 4th Avenue or 5th Avenue or whatever he said, pew with somebody and not lose a single supporter. That was really creepy. That was really, really creepy. Let me get something queued up that I found to be somewhat interesting. Let me all right, let's go ahead. Let's put some tinfoil on this. All right, here we go. This is Doug and Stacy. Off grid with Doug and Stacy. Minimize that. Take my turn. My goodness. That's game. Yay! Super cheese. I love it. Cool. Good news is I'm not losing any rank. Can't get any lower than Platinum Tier 4 currently. Let's go ahead and do this.
Any kind of terrier is good on the farm because they'll get all the rodents and animals. And then the bigger terriers are definitely going to get the big, raccoons, skunks, possums.
Rusty, I haven't blocked anybody. We see your dumb comments. It's okay. You don't have to believe. You know what I'm saying? You need attention, Rusty? Rusty needs attention. Everybody say hi to Rusty. I know you can't snort it for your bad sinuses. Why, y'all, are these trolls? Come on now. Get serious now. Just ordered my pearl powder. Thank you very much. And the tea.
Well, Pete wants to know what flavor rice. It was just some jasmine rice with some good homemade butter. I love rice. I think that was my thing, how I survived college. All I did was eat white rice.
My thought about Charlie.
Oh, no! Oh, damn it. Hit the wrong button.
If you want to ask me questions, I'm going to give you
That's
what I
gonna
think.
cost
There's
me.
either two ways this goes down. He
Dang
either
it.
started out, which is, you
I
can't
screwed
really
myself.
believe it because right out of the gates, okay, he starts a 5013C and he gets billionaire investors, y'all. Who does that? His dad was an architect for the Trump Tower. Who does that? Erica Kirk never was in modeling in her life, just opens up the mail one day and there's a letter in there saying, please come and be a model from the Trump organization. And she was a Trump model and won Miss Arizona. You can't make this stuff up. Why can't we just look at these people and just be like, look, there's Charlie Kirk and his cute parents, which you can't find online anywhere. And why can't you find, I put it on X, it's been viewed almost 50,000 or 30,000 times, and not one person can produce a picture of her being pregnant. There's this really quick little Instagram thing where it's like pop, 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 pop. And when I stopped it and looked at it, her belly is flat. It was like total fakery. Why can't we see the pictures? Why can't we? Why does her mom have to be part of the DOD? Why do all these people they present to us all
up,
have
Yoda?
connections with CIA,
How you
MK
doing?
Ultra, NASA, and all these government agencies? How come it just couldn't be some kid who actually grew up in Chicago, who didn't have all these connections, didn't have billionaire donors trying to tell him to shut up, right? And create all this stuff. Why does Candace Owens say, I was a Mason of Turning Point USA? She literally said that out of her own mouth, and I'm going to have the proof for you. Why? Why? Please tell me why. Please tell me why.
So Aspen says, I've never had a problem checking out before. So something's up.
No, there's nothing up, but there's a lot of people probably trying
Maybe
to check
that's
out.
what it is. Maybe you have to wait in line.
Yeah, just hang in there because everything's working fine.
So
Calcium.
Ruth Seeking Truth says, where to get the DMSO? DMSO, you could go to tmhw.net and then you can find under the DACA detox, there's a bunch of things, supplements and things. You can find the DMSO there. So DMSO at tmhw.net and you can check that
Now
out.
listen, y'all, you're going to love this one. You got your listeners on. Pay close attention. Pearl powder is the richest source
We
of
already read that.
calcium on
Okay, come on, dude. What? Stop pushing your freaking boner pills, dude. Shit.
Earlier, the heart valve, this kidney stones, calcium, muscles, and endothelial cells. Discovered pearl is significantly.
Holy crap. Talk about being freaking for sale, bro. I mean, what is this? Like Alex Jones boner pill central? I mean, almost the entire, look at her. Look at the look on her face. She's like, shut up. You're an idiot.
Higher is one of the most healthy. I don't know. I was just.
We're talking about this, but then you might go back and look. Someone was saying that Amway even sells it in the 50s and 60s.
Oh, God. Amway, dude. Oh, gosh. Here we go.
And things. A lot of them will have special shampoos for it and all the products.
Actually, you can doing the tip like this. Right on the side of him, there's a woman. Now, there's been 12 phones from the IDF.
All right, guys. This is Charlie Day level. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do this to you guys. We're going to get back to relaxing. I'm not doing the whole Charlie Day shit. Like, it's a Pepe Silva. Not doing it. Not going to do it. Not doing it to you. All right, let's go. Target creature you control. Let's go with this one. All right, now let's go attack. What's up, puppy? Good swing. Swing. Let's go to swing. Go to swing. Let's go to not swing. Maybe Candace used Mason as just an original builder, not the Masonic Mason. Maybe can't believe taking up for her. Yeah, I don't know, man. The whole thing screams spooky to me, man. The whole thing seems. I think people are, it's problem, reaction, solution, Hegelian dialectic. I think people are being maneuvered, manipulated, just tricked at the end of the day. I find it disgusting. A lot of people say religion is the opiate, or some people say religion is the opiate of the masses. Fair enough. I strongly believe Christ is king. I'm just going to leave it at that. That's where I'm going to put my hope in. Christ is king. Uh-oh. All right. Sometimes people take words to mean what they want and not imagine. I've described what I'm describing. Yeah, but I also think evil kind of tells you what it's doing. It's up to you to believe it or reject it. You know? And I've definitely seen a lot of evil, especially the last decade. It's been kind of out of control. I wonder if you get different cards based on whatever like genre, like historic or pioneer, because I wonder if you get like different rewards based on what set you're, doing your competitions in. Or maybe it was introduction to make the Masons more acceptable. At the end of the day, I don't know about any of this stuff. Let's see. We're going to do this. We're going to say green. Go ahead and cast this. This will be blue. This will be red. I need white. Yeah, I don't really trust any of it, MC. I'm going to be hopping off here pretty soon because I do get some things I want to do around the house. Got some vacuuming and stuff to do. Some good old-fashioned domestic goddess chores and whatnot. I think I'm going to do this. What does this do when it comes in? Whenever this creature enters, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, exile. Oh, okay. Oh, I should have probably held on to that. Huh? Forgot about that whole aspect of it. I think we're gonna go red here. Do this. Give her leeway on using it until more comes out. Yeah, I'm not trying to string her. No, that's probably not a good choice of words. I'm not trying to, like, nail her to her crossover. I think the whole thing is really suspect, in my opinion. The whole thing. Do this or do I do that? And we may exile a creature card. Really have a creature card here, but if I do that. I think we'll bend this one. And then we're going to put this down, and I think we'll just go green. And we'll do this. Get rid of that. Let's see. It's +1/+1 and flying until the end of the turn. We'll go with that. Let's go ahead and swing. Okay. Well, that sucked. Dang. I'm getting no white. That's great. Fantastic. Don't you know? I'll probably be back on later on Subpar Gaming once the set comes out, but I do want to get a few things done today to justify. I think I'm going to make an omelet with some leftover fajita meat from last night. I think that sounds really good. I'm gonna fry that up. Some extra onions. Throw some egg in there. We got plenty of eggs now, chat. Plenty of eggs now. I mean, they're little tiny eggs, but hey, what's up, MBK? Hey, I showcased one of your videos on my page. Or I posted it. Good work, man. Good editing, man. You did a good job. Putting that in there with the proof. I think it repeats itself though. That's the only kind of thing though. Omelet. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do an omelet with leftover. What do you call it? Meat. With leftover fajita meat. Let's go back. Appreciate you. I'm still learning. Yeah, you did good. The fact that it's a longer video and it repeats itself twice, it's not bad. Might even be good, because it gives you a little bit more time, but it also emphasizes his lies. He's just a lying sack of what, human excrement, MBK. So, by the way, for those that are kind of new, popping in, haven't heard what I've been saying lately, apparently there's been an attack. There's an ongoing attack on. What are we doing here? For the end of turn. Okay. There's been an ongoing an onslaught of an attack on Lick the Whole Boots channel. That's the second time he's been copyright struck by the Jagoffs. Tav and seems to be Tav and maybe For Public Safety are teaming up to try to copyright strike the hell out of him. And because Lick the Whole Boot is trying to stay anonymous, he won't give out his personal details. Man, oh man, I'm not winning much lately. I don't know what's going on, bro. All right, let's get to something else here. So he won't really give his details, so he doesn't really contest the copyright strike. So I think at the end of the day, he needs to probably hire an attorney. So maybe we can start a give, send, go. MBK, I know that Christopher Ruff mentioned you starting some kind of a thing like that for people to, kind of a for public safety fund to combat the person endangering public safety. And if that's something that collectively would protect Boot as well, I know my name was thrown out there as somebody that would be helped by it. Maybe we can do a Give, Send, Go that would be kind of the lookout for Boot Productions. This will be like the second channel they're trying to destroy. And frankly, I'm sick and tired of it because I have a lot of respect for what Boot's work and what he does. I think his voice is really important. And I think, how you doing, Miss Anya Meadows? And I think his voice needs to be heard. And the fact that they keep shutting his channel down, it just demonstrates how afraid they are of his words and what he has to say. Yeah, Boot is awesome. I agree. He's actually really nice. I mean, he'll eviscerate you now. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted if you're unreasonable. And he's a super awesome person. Yeah. I mean, we all have our struggles in life and stuff, but I think Boot's a decent dude. And, I mean, God forbid the guy want to stay anonymous. The fact that they know that they're really going after him and his channel, and I just find it absolutely disgusting. I find it just utterly disgusting. Not cool. So I'm thinking about maybe trying to set up something or setting aside like any fundraising, like maybe like one night, kind of like what we did for to help out Scott and Don Furman, to kind of help raise a little bit of money to help them, and then I'll figure out what their Cash App is and try to send it over to them. Just something to help out, to help maybe retain a lawyer to be able to file for him. We'll see. I mean, frankly, I'm kind of in my own situation right now too. They say, like I always say, physician, heal thyself, or put on your own oxygen mask before you try to help other people put on their mask. They would freak out to know I have met and hung out with Boot. Yeah, he's a nice dude. He really is. Someday we'll have lunch together as well. Good to see you. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Do me a favor, hit the like button, yap some more, leave a comment. I know some of you guys are at work, so you really can't. All you're doing is listening, but it does help out the show. It gives it a little bit of traction. I'm gonna end the stream here pretty soon. What did you miss? I just showed a little video about, I don't know, if you go back about 35-40 minutes or so, you'll see I was on Sage Outcast show today, so I actually had a pretty good conversation. It'll be the second in a row, third overall. So it is possible for the left and the right to kind of talk together. I don't really consider myself all that far on the right, but you didn't miss much otherwise. Yeah, if you go back like 45 minutes or so, I think I made some good points. Some interesting things I've recently been learning about Charlie Kirk, his wife. It might offend you guys. I'm just kind of warning you. It might bother you. I'm not trying to let it bother you, but it might bother you. So, I have an opinion that might not go with the current zeitgeist, as it were, of our country. How dare you? How dare you, sir? Come on, dude. Really? I mean, this is just freaking getting ridiculous at this point. You ask if you could give that opinion. Did I ask who? Yeah, I don't really need anyone's permission, but I try to be careful though, because I'm not trying to offend people. Today is Rapture Day. I miss y'all. Today is Rapture Day. Like getting raptured up. I'll miss you all. Who said today's Rapture Day? Well, I'm still here, so you don't have to miss me. Apparently, I'm still here. Apparently, I got a lot of work to do. What's up, Mav? Good to see you. Unfortunately, this episode is almost over. So I will be saying goodbye shortly. I'll do this. I was just teasing at some people think they control you. Yeah, no, I hear what you say. I thought you were kind of playing around. But I always like to try to respect other people's platform, you know, and Sage isn't really all that for Donald Trump or Charlie Kirk or anything like that. So it's kind of probably a safe environment for me to ask those questions or make those statements. So there's not a whole lot of harm and foul on that one, I imagine. But I feel like I'm... Opponent's at 11. I think we swing with everything, don't we? Good to see you all. I mean, if you're bored and you're still driving or whatever, if you're just working and you're just tuning in and you just want some company, like I said, I'm going to be stepping away to kind of... Shouldn't have attacked with that, but that's all right. I will be stepping away to kind of take care of a few things around the house, do a little tidying up, do a little organizing. Tomorrow's trash day, so I'm going to try to empty out a box or two of things that if you haven't opened it and used it in so long, then chances are you probably don't need it, right? So I might be able to get rid of it. Let's go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do this. So I'm gonna break down some boxes, get rid of some trash. I'm gonna take a hammer to some of the old broken down pieces of my my old wooden raised garden beds. They need to start going in the trash little by little. Some of the pieces are kind of long. Probably just get out there with a circular saw and chop it up. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do, so I don't have to like bang on it and create too many fracturings. Yeah, I'm gonna chop that up. But I'm gonna see you guys later. It's a good way to go out with a victory, and we'll talk to you guys all later. See you tonight, 9 o'clock. What is today? Tuesday? Tonight's Tuesday, right? Tonight, Tuesday at 9 o'clock. We might be getting a little tinfoily tonight, but we'll talk to y'all later. We'll see what happens and develops throughout the day. See what the crazies are up to, and we'll catch you at 9 o'clock Eastern. Take care, and thanks for stopping in. And